And we should be live.
Like all the soundtracks are in my head right now. Go away! I'm trying to concentrate. Soundtracks.
Are we live? I can't see it.
Look at your chat. Is there anyone saying? Blah?
There's no one saying blah 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 in the chat.
Oh no!
And it's not appearing on when I look at my channel, so maybe it's not working.
Is it set to public?
Maybe not, that might be it actually. No,
That's
it's on private, there we go.
Oh, that'll do it.
Right, have I done it now?
I don't know.
I have done it now. We're public, we're live. It's working. It's not on private anymore. I figured it out. And there's one whole person watching. That's me.
No, it's me.
Wait.
I haven't figured it. I haven't actually got there yet.
Oh, apparently I left. Hi, James. Hey, there are people arriving.
I just saw the stats up. You just got a big banner of you at the bottom.
I know, it's just... I mean, I needed something to fill that space. So... why not, right?
It's beautiful.
Oh, it's actually not even filling the bottom of the screen properly.
Wait, why am I on Moolah? No.
Wait, are you not signed into the right account?
No, it takes a second to switch over. It's fine.
How dare you? Right.
Now I'm on the correct one. Yahoo!
Was that
I just moved...
like your Mario impression? Because it was kind of pathetic.
Alright, I'll try again.
I'm just
Yahoo!
kidding, I'm not that mean.
I made the stream look a little bit nicer. Really things I should have done before I went live, but it's okay. There are people here now, isn't this nice?
Well, that's a bit offensive. Do they identify as people?
Oh, I forgot when I changed tab that it's going to show on the stream.
Why are you showing that on the stream? Like, say hello to Super Chat.
I should enable Super Chat eventually. I just hope there's no information in there that anyone can use to fucking hijack the stream.
I don't.
If there is, do it.
You didn't show that.
That seems like it would be a huge issue if YouTube designed their service that.
No, I know that you can do it, but so you guys ready to go into the video? Today we're gonna be fucking watching older CinemaSins videos. Cause okay, I'll tell you how all this started. Right? I was just talking with Mola, and he said CinemaSins videos have never really changed since they started on their channel. And I thought, clearly they're longer than they used to be. So I just pointed out, they've got longer and therefore worse.
It's
But
more of awful instead of just like a little bit of awful, you know?
I think they used to be better. I think they used to be more accurate when their older videos when they didn't pad so much. So we're gonna be watching some older CinemaSins videos today to see if like that's actually true or if I've just got that idea out of nowhere.
I mean, fuck, it is kind of sobering to see there's a whole movie they cover in 3 minutes. You're like, wow.
We're gonna be looking at.
Maybe,
So
I know that you're kind of like the expert on why CinemaSins isn't good, but what do we reckon are like the main issues with CinemaSins' like format and the videos that they make?
So
big.
they don't seem to fact check at all or really care about accuracy, which I personally take issue with. And a lot of the stuff they say is. A lot of the stuff.
Like, some people don't mind.
No, I know. Some people fucking don't. I get so many people in my comments being like, "Why do you care so much they're inaccurate? It's just a personal preference." I'm like, what?
Okay.
The thing is, I think a big problem that people have noted is that they will often say, "Oh, we're satirical. It's meant to be like a parody of bad, nitpicky reviewers." But when you conflate actual good criticism with blatantly incorrect criticism, it becomes confusing what the fuck you're trying to do.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Because like, if everything was wrong, you'd be like, oh, it's a parody. Cool.
Yeah. But if everything's right, you're like, oh, well, this is a real critique. But when it's in the middle, it's like... Because a lot of people will say, oh, well, it's obviously, exaggerated. But the thing is, like, the guys who actually do CinemaSins seem to treat it as, like, actual criticism.
Like,
You never fucking know what they're trying to
and
do.
exaggerated doesn't mean wrong as well, you know?
No, exactly. You can
Apparently,
exaggerate
we're a
and
bit
correct.
quiet.
Oh, we quiet. I'm not sure how to adjust that. Oh no, I know how to adjust that. There we go. I fixed it, hopefully. Say things.
No.
You're not the boss of me.
That's. Oh god, yeah, because audio levels are another whole annoying thing. I hope the video is correct and this thing. Good luck, Jay.
This is my first real stream. It's okay. It's okay if it's bad because I'm inexperienced and that makes it okay.
Oh,
It's like adolescence. Nobody will hold it against you unless
by
you
the
write
way,
on Twitter.
we watched as like a team of 7. We watched Thor Ragnarok on Saturday, and it was funny because Rags is comfortable with saying it's probably like his favorite comedy of the MCU. Like Civil War would be his favorite drama, and then Infinity War is pretty high up too. I'm looking forward to telling Wolf that on EFAP. See his reaction because I just watched them clash. Like, yeah.
Sure. All right, you guys ready to go on this? Which one are we doing first? Is it Iron Man or Avengers?
May as well Avengers. 'Cause it's
We've got
earlier.
one loaded, but I don't know which one it is.
It's Avengers, I think.
Sure, let's go with that.
This is his earliest video outside of one other one.
Which is, Amazing Spider-Man. So who really cares?
And nobody cares about that movie.
I used to like that film a lot, but then I watched other Spider-Man films. All right, let's go.
I disagree with. No, I'm kidding.
This is a Tesseract, and that's pretty much all you'll ever know for sure about it. Secret military
Well,
facility on brightly lit-
oh shit, that's definitely wrong now. But was it wrong when he said it?
Well, what do you?
What does he mean?
What does he mean? Yeah, what do we need to know about the Tesseract exactly?
That's true. There's no information missing that we needed.
Well, I mean, I think the film shows us that it creates portals. That's
And you couldn't get-
pretty major.
You can create like crazy energy weapons out of it.
I mean, at the time, I guess you could have called that all just like it can do anything arbitrary that the story needs it to.
Well, see, and this highlights
Although he didn't
CinemaSins
say
as a
that,
whole.
but
The MacGuffin as a concept is not a definitive bad. Like people are like, oh, it's just a MacGuffin. You'd be like, okay, but did it need to be more than a MacGuffin?
that's true.
Yes, it is a super important item that a lot of people are after, but those things exist on our planet.
Apparently,
like
you guys are
things
still
that we
quiet. I don't know how to fix that. You guys are at max now for me.
Huh.
Can you guys just yell into the mics, please?
But that's weird that it's that way. There's nothing I can do.
I don't know what I could do.
Oh,
'cause
someone
my-
said it's fine. There
Oh.
you go. Some guy said it's fine.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
the other person just needs to turn their volume up.
Just
Let's
turn
hope
your
it's
volume
that.
up, Plocky. That's a good name.
Yeah. But anyway, point being that I'm willing to accept that it's bad in some way, but he's just said that it's this. And you're like, okay. Like my criticism would probably be, how didn't the fact that they created energy weapons in the 1940s not have a more significant effect on technology by the time we hit 2000s?
If I was to
missed
argue against that, I'd say because they lost the Tesseract, which I would guess is
But then Captain Marvel.
But we had
sorted
the
it.
energy weapons.
That's what actually no, because they not. I was thinking like all of them were powered by the Tesseract, but no, they didn't. They had so many, and the Tesseract wasn't in all of them. So
Yeah, and the fact that they do have the Tesseract for a long time. Yeah, so that would be my criticism. The Tesseract doesn't seem to have an effect on planet Earth that it should probably have.
But that might be a broader commentary on how a lot of things in the MCU don't seem to have the effect that you think they would, I guess.
Well, we know why it doesn't, because they need to not have Earth
Well,
advance
it makes it way
significantly.
harder. Yeah, it makes it way harder from a world building perspective too.
Yeah, and you'd be like, how do we get rid of that? And I'd be like, oh, I'd probably have something really convenient, like the base with all of the weapons in gets exploded in Captain America or something like that. And it erases everything.
well, like they did with the Super Serum as well.
Yeah, they only have the one from Dr. Erskine, I guess, and then they can't figure it out.
I was basically just so all of this technology needs to be here now, but we can't have it later, so it all just goes away. Okay.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to draw it back now, because he makes points quickly.
This is a Tesseract, and that's pretty much all you'll ever know for sure about it. Secret military research facility on brightly lit exposed mesa.
hang on.
Secret
I mean,
military research facility on brightly lit exposed mesa.
But the fact the building isn't secret, like
Yeah, it's what goes on inside it is the secret,
and
really.
also, like, surely they do need the lights on.
Doesn't the Pentagon have lights and you can see it, but you're not allowed to know what goes on in it? Really?
Well,
yeah, this one is
you
silly.
know, yeah.
Like they have helicopters going to and from it. I'm pretty sure someone would figure out that something was there, even if it was like camouflaged. But sure.
Well, the problem here is that what's his problem with this? Is it that they shouldn't have lights? Is it that they shouldn't be on an exposed plane? Is it that
Yeah, they're on an exposed mesa, so I guess people can see them from above.
all right then?
What
We're
do
doing really well. The first two things.
Isn't fucking Area 51 on an exposed mesa?
Pretty sure you can see it on Google Maps.
Helicopters do not need to follow roadways. Coulson wears sunglasses at night.
So they don't.
Helicopters
bright it
do
is,
not
though.
need to follow roadways. They also don't not need to follow them.
I mean, isn't it weaving in between the buildings there? I mean, at the point that the buildings are that high, I think it kind of needs to follow the roadway, or it's going to crash into
like
the
the-
building.
I like the premise of this stream is already
Yeah,
pretty much answered.
We've already established no, they weren't better.
He's like 100% of his sins already are like retarded. All right, Coulson wearing sunglasses. You got him.
Well, it looks pretty bright to me.
I was about to say,
This is a brightly lit,
thinking about
exposed mesa.
especially
Yeah.
the interior is very so like
Yeah, it's
I don't know. Maybe there is cultivation. Who knows how significantly shaded those shades are?
What if the sunglasses have like tech on them? You know, like Google Glass, but sunglasses.
I think he's not inaccurate here. Coulson clearly is wearing sunglasses, and like I guess you could call this a joke. It's not like he's
Yeah,
trying
I'm
to be
happy-
serious.
I'm happy to settle that it's a nitpick.
I
I'm
guess
happy
it's
to
a
settle
joke.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not wrong. Nothing he's said so far has really been wrong. It's just all like, what are you saying? Why did you say
Yeah,
these
like,
words?
why is it a bad? That's
You know,
what we need to
If
know.
his next thing he says is like, Fury's wearing an eye patch. Okay, that is the next thing he's saying.
That is the next thing.
He's making a comment about the character development too, to be fair.
Well, hang on. This is like Nick Fury is barely in any of the films. Like, yeah, what's the problem with him not like? Why didn't he say that for Coulson? Why didn't he say that for Hill? Why didn't he say that for all
Yeah,
the
like-
characters that are tertiary?
At this
Fury's
point,
yeah.
at this point, he's really only there for plot reasons, isn't he? He doesn't need to be a fully
He's just the
fledged
boss of
character.
Shield.
Like, not every person who appears on the screen needs character development.
Yeah, like, I mean, if anything, that might detract from the characters who are actually important.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Again, it's like
he's wearing an eye patch and doesn't get character development. Okay.
Eye patch. Exciting superhero movie starts with plotting exposition. Possibly racist movie kills.
oh come on.
I mean, that's clearly a joke, right? But
I don't know. It's like they're telling us that the Tesseract is getting out of control. That's what this conversation is as they approach
no,
the
I was
Tesseract.
talking about the possibly racist comment.
Oh, looks like we might be out of sync. I still find that one dumb. Possibly racist movie kills 2 Asian extras in a row. Yeah, that's definitely a
I
joke.
guess here's my problem, right? I know that if a movie started off with action, they would complain about it
Well, hang-
because they'd be like,
well-
I don't know what's going on.
There's about
Yeah.
to be an action scene, right? So let's see what he says about that.
I'm excited now.
2 Asian extras in a row. Tesseract powers allow for
Are we in sync? Should we check?
Well, as long if I hang on, if I drag it back to, I'm going to drag
I'm
it back
at
to 25.
029.
What are you at now?
26.
Yeah, same for me. Okay.
Racist movie kills 2 Asian extras in a row. Tesseract powers allow for mind control by tapping the center of the chest. Dangerous
That's
energy.
true.
not
That's
sick.
true.
That's how it works.
Well
What?
done.
how it
You
works.
can't. This is what I mean. He might actually be worse in the older ones because he thinks that that's just good enough. Is he pointing out that it should be the mind that you put your thing on to mind
I
control
don't-
them?
Oh, you could read deeper meaning into all of these. It's just those are the words he said. Let's move on. Like, you know.
Read deeper meaning. That's all this is. Dangerous energy source, space doorway with gamma radiation. Screw it. Transport by hand. Well, he's got no
What other
choice.
option?
Well,
And he's
no-
got gloves on.
we now know that he's done that before.
Yeah.
No, other people have picked up the Tesseract. I mean, when Red Skull did it, he got transported into another dimension, sure, but the there's not exactly a long precedent for this sort of thing. And yeah, he'll be killed anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
He did just get told, if I remember right, though, that it was emitting gamma radiation. So maybe don't pick it up.
Again, it doesn't matter. He's gonna die anyway.
What other option does he have?
That's a good point.
Yeah. You know, like, you're faulting him.
If you told Fury, do not grab that, it's got gamma radiation, he'd be like, oh, okay.
I still gotta take it, you know?
Space doorway with gamma radiation? Screw it. Transport by hand. The bulletproof vest fake out.
Hang on.
Action piece.
No, sorry, just transport by hand, and the clip is him putting it in a briefcase. I
Yeah,
guess he does use his hand to put it in there, but transport.
But he is wearing gloves, so...
And he does he, correct me if I'm wrong, does he like go, oof, like with his hand, or does he not?
I don't know.
Like to imply that it's...
Major superhero film is a boring...
Okay, I'm gonna check it, give me 1 sec.
First action piece of a major superhero film is a boring car chase. I mean,
You can't win. You cannot win.
you can't
that's like completely subjective, I guess, but okay. He finds the car chase boring.
Hang on, I must know the answer.
Would
Nearly
he,
there.
I guess my question would be, what would he prefer as the opening to this movie? Would he just prefer it if, like, Iron Man just showed up and then Captain America was standing there? It's like, oh, hey, what's up? Oh, yo, and then there's an explosion, and then they just fight. I don't know what the solution here is.
The point isn't that he'd prefer anything else. The point is that this is bad for reasons.
Fury actually does put it into the briefcase and immediately go, oof, with his hand. Like, and shakes the hand, if you know what I mean.
Sure,
Right,
sure.
so...
That must be the gamma radiation.
Well, it's clearly hot, this smoke coming off the thing. My point is that the film is acknowledging that holding it is not a good thing.
Sure.
But yes, film car chase is boring.
Boring car chase. Scene does not contain a lap dance.
Hey, it's that joke.
That's where
That
the memes
joke.
start. It's not even funny, like, it's just shit.
I think this is
Fucking awful.
Is this the second instance? This might be the first time they said it. I'm not
I
sure if
think
they
it
say
was
it
the
in their
first
first
time.
one.
I think it was the first time.
No, they do say it in their first one. I can't believe that I can remember
Oh.
that. I can't.
Oh,
I think they say it about fucking Gwen Stacy in the first one. It's literally the joke is, hey, woman, sex.
man, that's telling. I mean, I don't know what the joke even is. Like, is the joke that it's just completely stupid?
The joke is you don't get the joke.
Comedy.
Okay.
The joke is
It
the
makes
comedy.
sense if you think about it not.
Bruce Banner is hiding out where only little girls and S.H.I.E.L.D. can find him. S.H.I.E.L.D. answers
What
to
is
four
the- what-
people on vertical plasma screens. Bad.
Why,
bad-
wait, stop it.
So, no.
Every one of these is, what do you mean?
It's just funny.
I think he's less clear than in the newer videos as to what his
He's
point
just-
is.
He's just explaining what's on the screen, but it's like, it's not even a nitpick. It's nothing.
It's more accurate than the new ones.
It
It's
is.
just-
That's true, actually, because there's nothing. If you get rid of the sin counter, the timer, and the context, and this is a video, you'd be like, "What is happening? This is a really bad explanation of the plot." Like, I don't know. Bad guy henchman running laps. You'd be like, "Okay."
They are doing that. I get. Wait, are they doing that? Are they
Well,
training?
they're running somewhere. I don't
So
know.
they are running. They might be running laps. This is true. Well done.
S.H.I.E.L.D. can find him. S.H.I.E.L.D. answers to
Wait, sorry. Let's see that one again. Banner's hiding out where only little girls and S.H.I.E.L.D. can find him. Though they do acknowledge that Fury's had an eye on Banner for a long time, and they just let him be because they were going to bring him in when they needed him.
What about the little girl? I don't really remember that too
She
well.
works for S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh well, then.
He says, "Wow, you training them that young?" And then Natasha says something like, "I was that young." They
So-
would just paid her off. Like, it's not like she's an actual agent or something.
four people on vertical plasma screens. Bad guy
Yeah.
henchman running.
You know
behind.
what? You know how you fix this movie?
Look,
Rotate the
except
screens.
I don't even mind.
But wait. So what? Hang on. What part of that is? What part of that is the thing we're supposed to go? Oh, that is bad. At what? What part of that is supposed to be like the thing he's commenting on? Is
I
it,
like to think that because this is what skyrocketed his channel, by the way, these selection of initial videos. You got to
Yeah.
wonder when people were watching it, if you asked them these questions, how they'd react in real time. They're watching it, and then they're like, "Well, it's funny because."
Yeah.
You're like, go
So,
on.
four people on vertical plasma screens. Is it the vertical, the plasma screens, or the four people that's the worth
The
commenting on
problem.
here?
Which one is the? Maybe that's his point. He's like, they will figure out the problem if I just say the thing.
That's like, we can write the video for him. He just points things out, and eventually someone will be like, I think he's saying this, and then other people will be like, yeah, he must be, because that makes sense.
Writing the video for him. It's
Wow.
genius, really.
People on vertical plasma screens. Bad guy henchmen running laps. Loki's scepter is
Yeah,
also
is
a
it?
space phone.
What's stupid about it?
I don't know.
It's a flying airship. It's a flying airship.
It's a space phone!
Where do we begin? Like, I guess we'll go with the staff criticism first. It's stupid that the staff can contact people.
Is it?
But-
No, because it shows us that it can do that.
Well, this is the thing. We've got nothing that really contradicts with. We don't, and it does do creepy power
But
stuff.
have you
We've been shown
considered
the test
that it
working.
is a space phone?
You know what? That changes everything.
And then he says the helicarrier is dumb.
Wait,
Why?
are you guys ahead of me?
I must be ahead because he got up to that.
I am at 51 seconds.
I'm at
Yeah, I'm at
55
53.
seconds.
I'll just...
Wait, what? All of us are out of sync? We'll then watch together.
I'm at 52 now.
Let me draw it back. I'm going to draw it back all the way to 45. Is everybody on 45?
Yep.
Yep.
Sweet.
Answers to 4 people on vertical plasma screens. Bad guy henchmen running laps. Loki's scepter is also a space phone. The helicarrier is hella stupid.
No, it isn't.
So,
I kind of
is
think it
the
is.
and this is genuinely me writing for the script. Is it because the 4 turbines wouldn't be enough to hold up that size of a spacecraft or aircraft?
Well, this is not hard science fiction.
Well, no. My point is like, if that is the criticism, all right, it might not be possible in physics, but the film is saying that they have the technology to make this function this way.
Well, my first question to him would be, how would one operate an Iron Man suit? Like, how do you operate it? How do you make it hover? How do you boost speed? How do you lower speed?
Well, yeah, and the
How do
answer
you
is
fly over?
they've
answer
got
is
an energy
the
source
film
that's
says
tiny
so.
and infinite.
Not
And
even that, like,
everything-
how do you control it when you're inside it? How do you... Like,
You know.
what are the controls for it?
And why
'Cause
is it that when he gets shot by a tank and he flings down to the ground, it only makes him go, "Mm."
Well,
That was a good
but
impression.
What I'm
Even-
getting at is like, you know, if the film says, yeah, this is how it works, this is just how it works, and it's plausible enough.
The problem
You know,
comes
like-
in when they do another thing, the exact same thing, and then something else happens, and we're like, "Hey,
Right.
But, you know, I guess you can just say that this is stupid because it probably couldn't I don't have a problem with this. It's just like, okay,
well,
you know?
that's the thing. If his criticism was this is unrealistic, I'd be like, okay,
Like,
Well,
you know,
do
because
you realize what movie you're watching, though?
everyone's
Well,
fucking suspension of disbelief is broken by different things, and I'm fine if he's saying his is broken by this. Just...
well, if he said his requirements are it has to be real, I'd be like, why are you in this genre?
Yeah, it's a movie about, like, a god, a giant green man, like a
What I'm
70-year-old super
Like
soldier.
fantasy must suck for him. He can't enjoy Lord of the Rings even from the moment it starts. He'd be like, "Where's this? Where's this takes place? I don't remember this place."
I'm willing to bet that he also thinks it's stupid because he doesn't get the purpose of a helicarrier, which is fine, I guess. It might not be that more beneficial than just a regular carrier on the sea.
Sure.
That's the thing that we're...
It does.
He's just said
You
it's
know, it
stupid.
does-
Sorry, you go?
Oh, I'm just trying to figure out what he's getting at
That's-
here.
Which is the content of CinemaSins. We
I
get
was
to
gonna say,
talk
like,
about him, like what he might mean.
He's just said it's stupid, thing bad, and we're like, why? And like, you know, it's up to us to decide why it's bad. You know, like, if you agree, you agree. If you don't, you don't. And that's the whole
Right,
content.
Which is the beauty of this content, though, is that if you don't ask a question, he gets away with it.
Here's the thing: if he was here right now, and we just gave all those options for what he might mean, he could be like, "No, not necessarily." So we're like, "What the fuck are you saying?" Then he's like, "You know, pretty self-explanatory, I think."
I want to know what he would say if he was here. I want to know how he would, like...
He'd say, why are you digging into it so much? It's just,
I think he'd say, yeah, it's just a gag. The whole thing is a gag. Why are you taking it so seriously?
Cloaking device is dumb, but I also don't know why they're hiding. Do we know why they're hiding?
why
Device is dumb.
Wait, no, I'm behind
Hang
you.
on. If they weren't hiding, would he say super secret military operation
he would.
in broad
He
daylight,
absolutely would. He definitely would say.
like he said for the
I think
Mesa?
it's worth hiding the thing, to be honest, because most people will be like, what the fuck is that? If it was floating around, they could see it.
Well,
Yeah,
the thing
I'm
is,
inclined
now
to
I'm
agree.
just like, now I'm just thinking about the helicarrier. So the whole point of the helicarrier is it's meant to act like a regular carrier, except it can travel over land, it can travel discreetly, and it can still deploy the same assets that a carrier on the ocean could.
Mhm.
So, is it? I don't. It's like it's an aircraft carrier, but it's better.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's not dumb.
Functionality-wise, it's clearly superior. I think he's I mean, if he's in any way right, he's got to be talking about the practicality, I guess.
Which again, it's they've demonstrated that this is how it works and it can do these things. It's fine.
Also, cloaking
not
device is dumb. Sorry, go.
Yeah, I mean, what's dumb about the cloaking
Yeah.
device though?
It's just it is dumb. You
Is
just
he-
have to
is he
accept that it
saying-
is dumb.
It's unrealistic again, or is he saying it's unfeasible?
Well, Iron Man suits
It's
are pretty
dumb.
unrealistic, so
Fine, you win, CinemaSins. It's dumb.
But I also don't know
It
why
can't
they're hiding.
speak.
Cap pays off a bet he never technically.
I wonder if he would say that a submarine is dumb and like why is it going underwater? What's it trying to hide from? I wonder if he'd say that like a submarine was
If,
fictional and it was in this movie.
Well, he totally would, because like his philosophy is that you can fucking sin any movie, which even
Every movie has sins, apparently.
Yeah, so
He's not wrong.
I 100% if he was like presented real life and forgot that real life was real life, he'd be like, why is this shit like this? Clearly it wouldn't be. You need doors between rooms? That seems inconvenient. You have a thing in the way of where you want to go.
You know what's funny? He says Cap pays off bet he never technically accepted. I feel like I could go the complete opposite direction and just be like, what do you mean, Jeremy? He's paying him because of a drink he got him earlier. You don't know that this is what that's related to.
Yeah, you
What
could
if
just
that-
like
yeah.
you could totally give the CinemaSins treatment back to them. I've heard, and just say like just say random things that kind of sound like it's bad. Like this isn't true, and that's all you'd have to say to criticize it. Don't explain why. Just say this is wrong, and then move on.
Yeah, I guess this is more of a one supposed to make us go. Well,
I don't know what reaction they want.
We're sweeping every wirelessly accessible.
Actually, I know. I think the reaction they want is probably just, that's fine. I'm going to listen to what they say next. You know, the reaction they want is no reaction until they've said the next thing, and then you get to the end and you're like, I guess that was fun.
Camera.
I think that is actually a style choice, that you don't have time to think about what your reaction is before the next one demands a reaction.
Yeah, I mean, it's
On the
clearly
planet.
worked out well for them either way.
Mm-hmm.
Loki makes grand appearance changes that barely changes it.
What
What?
do you mean a
Um,
Bella changes his appearance? He's not in a suit anymore and he's in a giant horned helmet.
But wait,
We're sweeping every wirelessly accessible.
what's wrong with we're sweeping every wirelessly accessible camera on the planet?
I guess he thinks it's stupid because it's too much, and I'm kind of like,
What's
I
the
kinda
big
agree,
for facial
actually.
recognition for Loki?
I kind of agree with this. I hate when a movie or a book says everything, like, oh, we're doing this on everything. I own every video game ever made. That's like what Ready Player One does. And
Well,
I
hang
hate
on. But that's different. They're literally the government. They're sweeping all cameras for facial recognition on Loki, and they get it.
So, like, can they break into every wirelessly accessible camera on the planet? Like, what if it's military encrypted, but
Well, I
of a
guess it
different
wouldn't
country?
be wirelessly accessible
I
if
guess,
they could
like-
access it.
I guess the line that's missing here is except the ones that we can't do that to.
Well, I think
Right.
that's included.
But-
wirelessly accessible. If it's not wirelessly
Oh, yeah.
accessible, then they can't access it.
So-
therefore they're not.
Fair enough.
Like-
Fair enough.
Yeah,
It's a quick line, but it's fine with
it
me.
explains itself in the line, I guess.
I mean, I
Accessible
guess
camera.
all they could have said was, we're sweeping as many wirelessly accessible cameras as we can, which is
Yeah.
a lot, you know. But again,
planet.
it's not that important.
Loki makes grand appearance changes that barely changes appearance.
Why is that even a
understand.
thing? Like,
I don't understand that.
Look at the next shot. He's got a giant horned helmet.
so he's changing out of
And
his
if you remember,
disguise.
the point is he wants to get captured.
So he's like he's changing out of his disguise so he's like not inconspicuous anymore because he doesn't need it anymore, right?
Also, Fringy, you
And
said you
also-
hated Dutch angles. Do you have a problem with this one?
No, I never said I hated Dutch angles. What are you,
You did.
talking about?
You did when we were talking about I Am Thor. You said I fucking hate Dutch angles.
I mean,
I never said that.
You absolutely did.
to be fair, anyone
did.
who's like watching Thor is probably going to be fucking sick of Dutch angles by the end of it.
I agree with that.
Why are you lying about me?
I am not like that's what you said. That's in the fucking movie. I was like, I don't know that I don't like them at all. There's probably a time where they could be used.
I'm convinced I've never said that. But why would I say that? Of course, Dutch angles are fine.
No.
Everything is fine in
You were
moderation.
really you were banging on about them in Thor. You really didn't like them.
I agree
No,
that this was definitely said.
I'm pretty sure. What I would have said is Thor overuses them because every
You
shot
did-
is a Dutch angle.
The only people you could ask is Glib and Wolf if they remember. You were. I was waiting for like to try and think of a good Dutch angle. That's what that was about.
I honestly, I don't know where you.
Well, it doesn't matter either way. If you're saying that that's not how you feel about it, it's fine.
Yeah, I feel like I've been slandered here personally.
Well, go get a time machine. We'll be able to find out.
I'm glad we had this tangent. This was
It
an
was it's
important,
better than
important
CinemaSins.
tangent. I agree.
Point is, Loki changes his outfit, and it's much more extravagant than his previous one. And then he commands a bunch of people to kneel to him outside because he's waiting to be captured.
So like, yeah, he
Yeah.
All
says
fine.
he says he makes an appearance change that doesn't really change his appearance.
It kind of does.
Yeah,
He does, but also like, what would he prefer if he was just yelling at people in a tux, just shouting "kneel" at them in a tux? Like,
Yeah, that would be a bit more awkward, wouldn't it?
I mean,
He'd be
there's,
like,
no-
"Who the fuck are
shit.
you?"
there's nothing wrong here. He just says a thing, and like everyone's
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
"Haha,
You know
he
what?
said a thing."
He's- Well, in fairness, you can't say this one's accurate.
It's like,
it's
well,
yeah,
how
this
does
is wrong.
how would it be different? Like, if could it change his appearance more? Could he turn green? You know,
He
that
should've
could
not
happen. He
Double
should have
the
turned.
size.
Green. He should have been played by a different actor after his appearance change.
You know,
should've
you raise
been-
a point. I'm like, what else could he do? He's literally put on a horned helmet.
After this, it should have been fucking Michael Cera.
Yes.
Just for the scene, though.
Attacks Germans but lectures them in English. Did he?
Well, he can only speak English, I guess. Like,
Um,
I don't-
Yeah, that's
I
kind
don't
of. I mean,
this
Asgardians
is a way bigger
just
thing,
speak
isn't it?
English, you know.
yeah, like it's funny how he's missed this way bigger thing. It's like, why does everybody speak English in Guardians of the Galaxy? They speak English. In Asgard, they speak English.
But he finally gets to that. By the way, he finally picks up on that in Infinity War.
Well,
If
Why
I
did it
remember
take so
right.
long?
No, it's not even that everyone speaks English. It's that everyone is able to breathe the air of different planets.
also a
Which is
lot.
like-
Like, I'm not even kidding. Someone said in chat as well. A lot of German people know how to speak English.
Yeah,
I can confirm
lots
that.
I should say a lot of
Lots of people can
Europeans
speak
know how to
English.
speak English.
Yeah.
I
it's-
lived in Germany for 10 years, and I still don't speak German, so it's true.
It's just it's pragmatic to speak English in Europe because it's like a universally used language, I guess.
Well, it's the language that's used by many of the most important countries in the world, namely the United States, formerly the UK. Like, that's it.
Yeah,
You know.
it's just it covers a lot of makes
I
conversation
mean,
easier, whatever.
in
But
in
fine.
100 years, it might be Mandarin. Like, it just, people
Just
speak
jump-
the main language that, like, what's his criticism here?
His
Well,
criticism is that things are happening.
He should. Loki knew he was in Germany. He should have spoke German to them. He
should
should
have
said,
learned-
"Das weiß dann feiner."
He should have learnt German first. Like, there should have been a
Yes.
scene of him learning German, otherwise it would have been a loose end.
Imagine he did speak German. And CinemaSins like, we never got to see where he learned German.
Oh.
That's what he'd say that, though.
He's like, why does he know how to speak German? He's from Asgard. Do they have Germany in Asgard?
You know, the Nazis had pieces of.
I have no idea where he jumped from, but he jumped from somewhere.
Oh, this is my favorite part, because it's like Cap arrives in Germany and it takes him like 3 seconds to mention the war.
Layer that they made the Jews wear. Late night kidnap, brotherly argument
I think we might be out of sync again, by the way.
Let's still
Not to
drag
late
it.
night kidnap.
on a mountain.
What time are you guys at?
108.
Yeah,
Oh, we're in sync then. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I
Never
just
mind.
pulled it
I
back.
just
But
dragged it.
Yeah, did he just jump from a plane? I have no idea where he jumped from. I don't think
This
any of
is
us
fair.
really
This
do.
is fair. We found one. He did a good
But
one.
is it a problem we don't know? He could have just jumped from the side.
That's
Doesn't
true,
really-
but
But I mean, he could have jumped from a plane, I guess.
Yeah, he could have parachuted down and then disengage the parachute and jump down
Yeah,
onto
but then
the
I guess the parachutes that landed on all those people.
Well, the wind took it, Fringy. The wind took it.
I want to see the parachute just land on all those people now. I think that would be better.
Yeah.
And you just see like some people awkwardly pull the parachute off them.
There's like screaming, and a guy gets caught in it and strangles. And he's like, "Oh shit, this wasn't the way it's supposed to go."
That would be better. He's right. That would be better.
Did he just jump from a plane? You know, the Nazis had pieces of
I think it would be impossible for him to not mention the similarity, since that's like
Yeah, I mean, considering he like lived in the war and then he was frozen for 70 years, the
Yeah.
war was like on his mind.
Do you remember a criticism of Civil War, Jay, that CinemaSins had, is that they mention some old girlfriend from Bucky from like 70 years ago, and it's like they've both basically skipped those 70
Yeah,
years.
it's like,
for
how
the
does he
most
remember that
parts.
thing that happened 70 years ago? Because he was like, from his perspective, just there.
It's like a few weeks ago. Like,
Like,
well,
if you say
potentially like a
if you
year
say it like
later.
that and ignore the context, it does sound pretty stupid.
the flair that they made the Jews wear. Late night kidnap, brotherly argument on a mountain.
What's wrong with that?
What?
I
That
thought-
is what's happening. Yeah.
That's what's happening in the scene.
Like, how would anyone else have interpreted this when they were enjoying the video? Would they just be like, yes?
I think they would have just ignored it. Like, I think they would have just not noticed that this is just him
Do
pointing
you think
out
their brain would have
the
been
film.
like, that's one of the non-sins? That's one of the ones that's not.
This is
a
the
sin.
satire.
What's he
Superhero pussy?
satirizing though?
Bad.
Superhero.
Satirizing bad.
Superhero pissing contest.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah, they do kind of like clash a bit here.
Yeah, they do clash.
That's
He's
right.
right.
Well done. Well
It's-
done,
it's-
Jeremy.
But it's not a pissing contest. They're actually kind of in conflict with each other for real.
Yeah,
Because Thor
they
doesn't
both
care what
they both
what
feel
people
they
on
both
Earth are
should
doing.
have Loki.
So
Yeah, exactly.
I feel fairly happy in saying, Morley, you were right.
Yeah,
they've not got that- they've not-
I wasn't even 100% sure, but
So sure, yeah. Although I do think it's different. It's bad in different ways.
yeah,
So, like,
it's,
we were
I think
both
he has
right.
changed, but not in any way that
He's-
really matters.
He's more accurate, but less like substantive in this. It's just like, why did you say that for most of this? And then in the new ones, it's just like actually actively wrong. And
And
then
it takes up more of your time too.
yeah, actually, I kind of do think that is worse. But
It's like they're bad for different reasons, but it's still bad. Except one of them is only 3 minutes of pain, and the other one's like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
that
like the
means
new ones are harder
he
to
makes more
call
money.
him. Sorry, the old ones are harder to say that he's wrong because
Yeah.
he hasn't finished the point.
he's not wrong. He's just like, why? Why? What is
The whole thing is why.
what is the point of this? It's entertainment, but
Oh,
you can have better
um,
entertainment than this.
Now, I don't mean to scare you two since you are in Europe, but Article 13 and 11, I'm pretty sure like they're set now. Like that, they
Oh,
are
boy.
official. Yeah.
Like they've gone through fully.
Well, this is what it says. There was like the reforms, the final vote was 348 in favor, 274 against. No reforms, nothing. So it's just, yeah. Sorry, guys.
Welcome to the post-apocalypse.
We're fucked, guys. This is gonna be my last stream ever. Before
Yeah, well, this is the thing, man. Like, I stand by it. This is going. If it's going to be as bad as me and Jay can't even upload videos, then there's less concern for us, more concern for like how the fuck is this going to affect major industries?
I think
How
it's
is
gonna
I'll
trickle
be.
out to the
I'll
whole
still
world.
be concerned for
Literally-
me though.
PewDiePie won't be able to upload.
Doesn't PewDiePie? Oh yeah, he lives in Europe, doesn't he?
It's in England, I believe he lives.
Even
Sorry.
if the repercussions really are that bad, surely it will. I don't know.
Well, even YouTube, like they issued a statement 20 minutes ago that says the European Parliament has now voted on the EU Copyright Directive. Yeah, Article 13 could still have unintended consequences that may harm Europe's creative and digital economy.
Oh, I can't put
Yeah.
Article 13 in the title. There's not space.
Yeah, that's bad though. Like this is way worse than the whole net neutrality thing, because that happened and it was kind of like a dud. Like not much happened, but this
I mean-
seems pretty significant.
Hopefully, this will just go the same way that it will falter out.
Yeah, they always said that they weren't sure about how they would even enforce it, right? Like,
Right.
I wonder if they'll get tripped up on that. Like, it's just a law that is never... nobody does anything about it.
That'd be your best case scenario for sure.
But,
I guess
yeah.
you're going to be worried about whether or not companies will immediately go, "Oh, all right, we gotta change what we're
Yeah,
doing."
you know,
in response
YouTube
to
being like, we just won't let you guys upload out of fear for getting our whole platform crushed, and I'm just like, yeah, that's reasonable, unfortunately.
I mean, who are they going to let upload at that point? Like,
Well,
everyone
Americans,
could upload.
anybody from an IP of, I
But-
guess, Europe.
As far as I understand, Europe is big enough that basically everywhere will have to, or at least the UK will still have to hold YouTube to those same standards as. I can't remember. I'm quoting fucking. I think my
Oh, you mean
dad.
because of Brexit?
Yeah, Brexit. Even after the UK leaves, the
Is
EU,
that-
Article
Well, it looks-
13 will have just as much impact in the UK, is my understanding.
I don't even know if it gets copied over at this point, because we haven't left yet. I don't know how that
Well, the thing
works.
is like, I mean, is Britain even going to leave at this point? It seems like now
I'm
you might
pretty
just
sure-
be staying in.
We're going to be getting a major delay until something even sadder and more pathetic happens.
That's
Well,
just
the
like
thing was,
the whole of
you were meant to
politics,
have
isn't it?
left. You were meant to have left by the end of the month, but
It's
now
not
that's
going to
happening.
happen. It's not going to happen.
It got delayed, and now you got people out in the street saying like, "Oh, we need to revote because in democracy you're allowed to change your minds." But the thing is, if it was the other way around,
Yeah.
that would be the end. That's the
It
problem
would have
that
been.
I have with these protests.
That's the thing. Whether or not you're for or against Brexit, it's a really bad precedent to say we should vote again.
Right, but a lot of people don't seem to think that. They seem to think, oh, but if Parliament's allowed to change their mind, why can't we? It's like, you don't understand. Like,
Christ. Like, this is the thing. If they did a revote and they said against it and then we stayed in the EU, at this point you'd just be like, what is democracy again? What is the point of it? I don't understand.
Mhm.
Is it democracy until you go the way I want? It's like, okay.
oh, let's
So
get
what's
back to
what's
the
worse?
Superman punching
Old
each other.
CinemaSins, new CinemaSins, or Article 13 ruining everything?
Oh, that's tough.
Oh, wait.
It's just fascinating to me. I'm curious how this will actually roll out.
What if Article 13 stops CinemaSins from being able to upload?
Is CinemaSins in Europe?
Well, no, but
No.
you get the
But-
videos in Europe. I don't. Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I don't understand about how it works. Is like how distribution works. Although that's
I
that,
don't know.
I'm happy to not talk about Article 13 anymore, though.
Yeah, no, all three of us probably don't know enough
No.
about all the specifics, so
I definitely don't.
we'll just accept the horror as it comes.
Sure.
Contest. Supervillain prisoner left unattended. Superhero.
Yeah, that's kind of worthwhile.
I used to
mean,
think it was a
it's not
criticism, but it should have been noted by the heroes that he didn't try to escape. It
great.
should have been like, why didn't he? And then you could be like, us go, because they do point out in the movie. Remember, he says something like, "Why is it that out of everyone here, Loki's the only one who seems to want to be here?"
Oh well, yeah. So it kind of, yeah, exactly. So,
So
kind of,
I'm mostly fine with it.
We found a good one.
Um,
and plus, doesn't Thor look at Loki during the fight, and he can see Loki looking there smiling? So he's not like fully unattended. They still know where he is.
and I'm not comfortable. Like the criticism is valid to he's omitting certain other things. That's the problem with it.
Right.
So, would you say so far we're currently
It is the best thing he said in this whole video.
we're currently a minute and 20 seconds in to this 3-minute video? So, would you say that it's we've had anything that you would classify as good?
I wouldn't
No.
want to classify the one we just had as good. I wouldn't want to do that.
yeah, even that one's not good.
Pissing contest number 2.
Yay!
People arguing.
Oh,
Well noted, sir.
Cap and Iron Man almost kiss. The sin here is the almost.
Yeah, I agree with him. That's a good criticism. More
Clearly
gay.
a joke. Clearly a joke.
Is it when we get to a joke one we just can't really say because it's just whether or not the person laughed is up to them?
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's an
You know
easy
what I mean?
joke. I don't know.
What is the joke though? What
It's
is
the
the joke?
it's the
He
gay.
says Cap and Iron Man almost kiss.
Right, but like if I sat him down and said, "Explain that to me," what's
Oh,
the
but you
joke?
can't. Okay, so I made a joke in my most recent video where I pronounced development as development. I couldn't explain that joke to you, but I
can
think it's
explain
funny.
that. You can
I think-
totally explain that.
I
It's
just
funny
think
you
it's
pronounced it
funny.
that way.
It's fun.
I just-
like that one, actually.
You can totally explain that. I'm defending Jay from Jay.
No, you can explain that as it's funny because you mispronounced it in such a bizarre way.
So like,
That's what makes it.
he could just say it's funny because I say Cap and Iron Man almost kiss. Like, if he thinks that's funny, then I guess he thinks that's
So-
funny.
It's funny because he said the thing that he said, which he thinks is funny because he said it.
Yeah.
I think I
mean-
get what Jay's getting at. Like, what? Let's get real specific. Why is development funny? It's funny to me because I at first didn't quite realize what you were saying, and then I went, "Oh, it's development," and that makes me smile because it's a surprise. I had to figure it out. And it's like he said, it's an amusing way. It creates a new word out of a word I already know, just by mispronouncing things. We've been over why that's funny. This one, Cap and Iron Man almost kiss. I think the joke would be that they're supposed to be taking this scene very seriously and they're attacking each other, but they're getting pretty close to each other there.
I think I could see that being classified as a joke, like the juxtaposition between.
I think it's a joke. I just think it's a bad
It's
joke.
a joke.
Oh, yeah,
but it's
yeah.
a bad one, isn't it?
But it's subjective.
I think there are things you can say objectively about how jokes are constructed. I just I don't really want to get into how that works.
Sure.
Like,
Because we'll be
Well,
here for
but-
15 hours. No,
yeah, there's like a science to comedy. But sure, we'll just let him have it. It's a joke.
Cap and Iron Man almost kiss. Mighty helicarrier basically neutered by one freaking arrow.
No, it isn't.
Hang on. One freaking arrow, he says, as it explodes.
There's a lot
even
to
then-
unpack with that one sentence.
But even then, it isn't neutered.
The
it's
helicarrier
flying.
still functions after the arrow is fired. The arrow itself is not just an arrow. You realize throwing... We've said this before on EFAP. I think it's EFAP 3. Throw a lighter into a particular part of a car, and that whole thing is gone.
Submarine taken
Well, okay,
down
a
by
military-
one freaking TNT bomb.
A military vehicle shouldn't have exposed places that you can really fuck up by like just chucking something at it. But
What are the...
there's clearly
what are the-
high-powered explosives there.
Aren't there like special tanks that Germany had that had like a super weak spot on the back or something?
Um,
I think someone in chat might know what I'm talking about, but there's like
Possibly.
a special tank that everyone knew that you had to attack it from
I
behind
think
if you
that's
wanted to.
the Titans from Attack on Titan. Is that what you're talking about? Is that the German tank?
Yes, totally 110 million%.
If he if it was like just explosives that were placed on the helicarrier, do you think he'd say, "Mighty helicarrier basically neutered by one freaking explosive"?
I like a comment somebody made. He said, "Me neutered by one little bullet."
Dude, you can do better than that. Be neutered by one arrow. Like an arrow could go into your heart and you're fucked.
Well, the thing is, it's like, what is he? Does he not remember how, in World War II, kamikazes were actually, once the thing hit the boat, like the boat was in serious trouble.
Oh, a
When
lot
he's
of people are
saying-
referencing the Tiger tank. That might have been what I was talking about. And yes, it is in Fury as well. Anyone seen Fury here other than me?
No.
Gas.
It's a neat movie. It's a war movie with a team of people in a tank throughout the whole thing, and then there's a scene where there's 4 of them against one German tank, and the German tank's amazing, but they have to get behind it.
That does sound like Attack on Titan. Are you sure you weren't watching Attack on Titan?
It was like not animated, but yes.
Well,
I was
there's
watching
going to be a live-action Attack on Titan, isn't there? Did that come out yet? I wasn't following.
There's
it.
going to be a live action of every anime. Like,
They're doing a live action for Monster Hunter. How good is that going to be?
Yeah, but that's a video game.
Yeah,
So-
you just said of everything.
And it's it's Paul W.S. Anderson, so you can expect some.
Well, he's reliable. He
top-tier-
made incredible Resident Evil movies.
You know what would be good? Live-action One Punch Man Season 2 trailer.
Where he floats
Yes, I
away.
know.
I'm still so sad about that.
I'm really scared of that. What's going to happen?
The best case scenario now, I think, is just it's still as good as it was, but looks uglier.
Yeah, if the writing is sharp, even if the animation is worse, that's still okay.
But
Yeah, we can survive. But, you know, concern faces everywhere. Everyone put your concern faces on. But yeah, as for this comment, I wish you just changed it to instead a criticism of the extreme accuracy. This is one of the best shots Hawkeye ever makes, and
But
you'd be
he's
like,
Hawkeye.
yeah, but you say that as if it's like saying he's Thor. Of course he can fly. He's, you know, Captain Marvel. Of course he can blast rays out of it.
I'm just thinking, like, if he can't make it really accurate arrow shots, he's like more than
it's
useless.
a constant
in
problem I
this.
have with Hawkeye. I like that he's accurate, but he's way too accurate for a human. Like, what's going on? Is there any? Why bother explaining anyone's powers?
Well,
I mean,
I guess you had the same problem with Bullseye and Daredevil, even though I didn't have
Yes.
that problem. Where you were like, how does he throw pencils at people?
Yeah, it's a bit much. And this is the thing. Like, you might be like, well, he's a super person. And I should be like, is Hawkeye a super person? Like,
he's just
is it
really good
No.
at arrow shooting.
Just a normal person who's.
I thought he was a
really-
normal person. Yeah.
But the thing is,
And-
I guess, would you have enjoyed the shot if they just shot it and the dramatic music played and it missed? He's like, ah, fuck.
Well, obviously, I'm not advocating for that. I'm suggesting that Hawkeye and Black Widow should have had a movie by now.
I want that scene in the
together.
film now. I want that scene like with the dramatic music and the build up, and then Hawkeye just misses. He's like, oh shit, and then he tries again. That would be
And what
brilliant. I could totally see them doing that.
And I think I actually would be cool if they just did his history is he only honed his accuracy or something like that. But even then, I'd be like, it's a bit much. Like, there's no human that's that accurate, but okay.
Well,
And I'm not exactly wanting him to be bitten by a radioactive accuracy, but I would have preferred something.
I think that would be better.
But I mean, at that point, doesn't that kind of just ruin him? Because if he's not super accurate all the time, then it's like, what's even the point? You know, on a
Everyone
super
has
team of
off
superheroes.
days.
Oh yeah, sure, but I mean, like in Saving Private Ryan, you know how you've got your
I
can't
don't-
remember his name,
I don't know
the
that.
sniper.
Don't worry.
Jackson, wasn't it?
Everyone
Yeah,
else will know
Jackson.
what you're talking about, so keep going.
Yeah, like Jackson, he does miss a couple of times, but it makes sense because it's meant to be realistic, or at least set in reality. Whereas in this, nobody ever people make the comment,
Yeah,
how
but-
come Cap never messes up his throw?
But
you know what I mean?
it doesn't always work out, his throws, even though... But the thing is, Cap is supposed to be a human pushed to their maximum potential in every attribute, right?
Right, but what does that have to do with his ability to know how to throw it well?
Well,
You know what I
accuracy
mean?
is
Yeah,
a trait
that's
that
his-
humans have.
That's his brain doing the things.
Yeah, so but in fact, you kind of bring up the fact that he probably should be more accurate than Hawkeye, to be honest, because Hawkeye is, we assume, the best a human can be, and that's what Cap is supposed to be in every attribute.
In every attribute,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was what we had assumed. I thought
What is-
he was really strong, and that was the main thing.
What is
Oh, he's-
Captain America's power considered? He has agility,
small
strength, speed, endurance, reaction time, and superior to any Olympic athlete who's ever competed.
Yeah,
Even at dressage.
what happened if he
Yeah, all of his bodily functions are at peak human efficiency, so
like,
that would
what
have
if
to
he
include
spent a
accuracy.
month- what if he spent a month just eating Cheetos or something?
I want to see that movie.
That could be Captain America 4.
Says Cap is not a jack of all trades. That's his literal power. He's human efficiency pushed to its peak.
Okay. Yeah,
Obviously,
fair
he'd
enough.
have to learn a skill, but I mean, accuracy is not something it's the balance and understanding of all I want is Hawkeye to have a bit of... This is the complaint I've always had. I wish Hawkeye and Black Widow got their movie before Avengers, the two of them, and we got the backstory that's super interesting in a movie.
Yeah, but the reality was at the time,
Yeah,
even
I understand.
The heroes that they had weren't
I
really,
understand.
A-list. Even Iron Man was a B-list.
The other
hero
thing-
at the time.
Is that he is under mind control right now, so maybe there's room
That's
to be
true,
I
actually.
don't know.
He
He's
could
got
be
boosted power, I don't know.
But
more
yeah, but
accurate
then
based on the mind
I
control.
don't know. But when he's at New York, he's still pulling off these crazy shots.
But if he's
I don't care personally. I don't think it's a big deal.
yeah, I agree.
Cap can't get out of shape due to the serum. Is that true?
Well, then why does he work out?
So, yeah, I was about to say.
Well, funnily
I
enough,
guess-
I agree with you guys, but he does have a bit of stress relief with working out. He
I
does
guess
seem
he
to
could
be
be-
like pissed, if you know what I mean.
He could be
Right,
like
but
he
what-
can't get out of shape, but he can be more in shape, maybe.
So, like, what if he spent a year in space and then just came back? Would he be fine, or like would he
I don't
have
know.
atrophied?
Honestly, I don't know how that works.
Well, I would assume that he would have atrophied because, like, there's no
This is
gravity.
poop enhanced.
These are like I think I don't know. Like we're like 3 layers in now of like we've just come up with our own criticisms and then tangent on a tangent of.
Using CinemaSins as a vehicle is so much more interesting.
It is, you're right.
Because I was gonna say, someone said you have to practice to get accuracy. It's like, but Cap is like incredibly accurate with his shield. I don't know that whoever wasn't. Do you remember the one he throws where he bounces it off the wall to stop the doors from closing in Cap 1?
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
They're all just luck. He's always
Well,
lucky.
I like the fact that Civil War is like, that doesn't obey the laws of physics at all. It's just bullshit.
Oh yeah, and it's not even like a particularly like ridiculous throw. That he says
Well,
that
no,
to.
if you watch the editing, which I think they did on purpose, he throws it as Spider-Man swinging in, so it looks like it would just fly off forever, and then it cuts to him grabbing it and putting it on his arm, as if it's the literal opposite of where that shield would have gone.
I think I figured it out. Captain America is actually Captain Boomerang.
But so that's I think that's very deliberate. That's actually a good example of being like objectively fucked in terms of progress, but in favor of the joke. But it's like not like The Last Jedi, where it just, you know. Point that's interesting is just the Age of Ultron. You know, he gets that wrist thing that makes it so it can magnetize back to him. I always thought that was going to be a really interesting addition because it can explain why he's always able to get it back, and then they just drop it.
I completely forgot about that.
It's weird. They just drop it. And it's even used for some cool shit in the movie. He throws it into an Ultron thing, it gets stuck in it, and then he just retracts it back and it blows up the droid while going back to his arm. And it's like, oh, you could use that for a couple things. And it actually makes more sense than him just being able to grab it, but I guess, I don't know, the Russos dropped it.
Oh well.
Because it doesn't get destroyed, and even if it did, like, why wouldn't he be able to get another one? I don't know.
Why couldn't he get another one? Are you serious?
What do you think I just said?
Didn't you say... Oh, sorry, I thought you said there's no reason why he couldn't get another one. I thought that's what you said.
Hang on.
You think I'm referring to the shield?
I'm confused.
I'm referring to the device that brings it back.
Okay, but
Fight.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. No, I thought he was trying to say, like, oh, you just get another
they
shield.
didn't drop the shield in Vegas, Ultron. They drop it. They drop the device that brings it back with magnets or whatever.
I'm curious why Vegas
Right.
was the word that came out of your mouth there.
Probably because it's on my main screen right now.
Are you editing during the stream?
I don't know what you mean.
How dare
That's
you?
not. Those aren't words that I agree with.
I insist that you delay your Captain Marvel video just to.
It's already been delayed. When I
I
finally make
insist.
this, I have a feeling people will be like, "Why did this take so long?" And I'm like, "You do not want to know, okay? You do not want to know."
How long is it now?
Hour and 40 minutes.
That's long. That's bad.
That is
Jesus.
bad, but this movie needs it, okay? Me and Fringy did not waste a million years talking about this movie for nothing.
I fixed it in 14 minutes, so.
Should have just said how to fix it, scrap the movie, try again. Would have been better.
Just do it again.
I think that may have caused some controversy.
It might have, yeah.
I mean, not that the one I fucking posted didn't. I've shown you some of them, but man, there were a lot of comments on that video.
Yeah, you even got the it's a kid's movie, what the fuck you doing, right?
I got the money made money. The money made money. The movie
Well.
made money. So why does it need to be fixed? Like, you know,
Oof.
the Transformers movies made money.
Yeah.
I've got it's a kids movie. So why does it need to be essentially good? And it's I've been hit with so many. You're missing the themes is my favorite one to get.
Oh no. The theme.
You know, I'm kind of floored by how many people think that, like, themes matter, like, totally, as in all that matters is themes, without realizing that your themes kind of don't work if the plot doesn't work.
If-
Themes are great.
if the theme is like the message you wish to convey, then isn't the entire question is how you conveyed it then?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
the whole thing is like themes are great. I love themes. I think that more stories should incorporate themes into their narrative. Like I love themes, but your theme is not going to work if the story doesn't make sense. The story has to make sense first before your themes can exist. You know, if we treat storytelling like a cake, the plot, the structure, the characters, whether or not it's all makes sense and is consistent, that's like the cake itself, and themes and stuff are the icing on the cake.
What if your theme is inconsistency?
Well, then I mean maybe that would work.
you say that like, are you referencing something there, or are you saying that randomly?
I like to think I'm referencing something. I don't even understand my own jokes sometimes.
When H-Bomber Guy referenced all the things that were going wrong in the plot of DS2, his justification was DS2 is about the world collapsing in both the physical and the mental, and therefore it is complete in its incompleteness. And he says that unironically.
So
anything you find that's broken in DS2 is by design.
Well, it's funny you bring that up, right? You know about No More Heroes? You know about that game series?
No.
Well, it's by Suda51. He's kind of an auteur kind of dude. And in the second game, the final boss is like awful by all metrics from a design standpoint. There's so much wrong with the fight, but a lot of people will say, oh, but this was the point, because the theme of the game, and this is true, the theme of the game is that revenge is unsatisfying. And so the boss was designed to be bad on purpose to piss you off.
I would actually argue the better way to do that would make the boss really easy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Right? It's a valid, like, that's an interpretation you can have, but it's not something that you can say with absolute certainty, unless he outright said, yeah, that was the point. And even then, like, that's not necessarily a good thing.
So you're getting into,
I'd be like, oh, that's a cool reason to do that. It's still bad.
Yeah, it's bad for expressionism doesn't mean that it's not bad. It's just it's supposed to be bad. Okay, like there could be merit in like the problems that it has, but they're still, you know, you can still consider them issues from a gameplay point of view.
It's like it's fucking with us if you can just get the shield back no matter what, but they do that for a joke, and they mostly they show the bouncing, they show why it comes back to him mostly every other time.
They do enough work, I think, to kind of like sell it, you know what I mean? Like most of the time.
What I'm suggesting is that one time they don't, where we would be like, what the fuck? That makes no sense. They'd be like, oh yeah, it's literally for a joke. That's still a problem. Like it still doesn't make sense, even if the film points it out, but it's for that purpose. It's the same thing. But there's one worked way better than that one you just referenced, apparently.
Yeah. Well, what, in terms of purposely doing something wrong in a video game?
Was this a game you had to pay for, by the way?
What, No More Heroes?
Yeah, I don't know this game.
Oh, well, worth pointing out, I didn't play the second one.
But is it?
I played the first one.
What is
in terms of this? Oh, No More Heroes is on Wii. It's just like a hack and slash.
Just to be clear, to play it, you would have to buy it.
Yeah.
I mean,
so how pissed off would you fucking be if like you bought it and it was bad and they're like, yeah, it's supposed to be?
No, the game's good. From
or like a part of it was bad or whatever.
The final boss was kind of universally agreed to be poorly designed, and the issues with it are the camera doesn't work properly in several sections. He can hit you faster than you can react in chains. So like once you've made one mistake, you're in serious trouble.
Sounds like fun.
And also insta kills, which I think most people agree are kind of dumb, especially if you got no time to react. But yeah, I mean, this is the point that I was trying to make, was the whole thing with just because you say that it's like bad on purpose doesn't.
Yeah, I agree.
That's not good enough.
This certainly doesn't end the conversation, because you're like, wait, whoa. Let's pull it back. The hitboxes were bad on purpose to make you feel like it was even harder than it was. You'd be like, what?
They wanted to make you feel unsatisfied, with the experience.
And especially when you've paid for that experience, you're like, I'm glad I paid for this.
Well,
It's art, sir. Nothing's bad in art, nothing's good in art.
the criticism you got for your criticism of Captain Marvel, I find that it's made for kids one interesting because it feels like a lot of the people who were excited for the film were not children, but
Yeah.
fully grown adults.
So the adults, it's going to be adults making that argument. I doubt there's like some fucking 8-year-old going, it's made for kids, and I think it's good because I don't understand these like character arcs and stuff.
Plus, like, how patronizing is that to say it's made for kids, so like it's okay if it's bad?
Yeah.
Like, how insulting would you be if you made content principally? Like, imagine saying to Pixar, it doesn't matter how hard you try, it's for kids, so you can do whatever you want. It's like, yeah, sure, but what would be the point of that?
I think there is some truth to that though, because I did like some pretty terrible movies when I was a kid, but
Oh, yeah, sure.
I still
but,
like some pretty terrible movies now. Thinking about it, I just know they're terrible now.
Interestingly, mechanically speaking, especially with something like a hitbox, if someone was to argue, yeah, but you could say the hitbox was so bad it's good, I'd be like, has anybody ever argued that?
For a hitbox.
For a hitbox. If they ever said the hitbox is so bad it's fun.
I mean,
I'd be
I
like,
guess
ooh.
I'd call it funny, like laughing at how bad
It
the
could
game
make
is.
you... Yeah,
Like
but I was
The
going to
Room.
say, like, a hitbox almost inherently is like... You know, like, how with a movie being bad can be shocking and surprising, or delivery, you should be like, haha, but how could a hitbox ever be so bad that it's good, I wonder? I'd like someone to just to be able to explain a scenario,
Or if it just
like,
makes you laugh how
consistently,
bad
like,
the hitbox
going
is.
back and finding it fun. Like, just keep getting knocked over randomly, or...
Essentially, at that point, you're laughing at how bad the game is, how much they fucked it up.
I guess, yeah.
Like
But the problem would be that it's like, so you are arguing it's bad. They're like, no, it's so bad it's good.
The Room isn't objectively bad.
This is true.
See, I was watching a fucking I don't know if probably some people in the chat will be familiar with it. It was a Minecraft show I watched when I was like younger, and it was like Rage and Hollow's Minecraft Map Extravaganza. It's still fucking good. It's like the only Minecraft show I still think is good. And
Someone in the chat just said, so the arrow point was bad.
yeah.
Like, yeah, if you want to, you know.
So I watched that, and one of the hosts is like, they're playing a Minecraft map that's themed around MLP, My Little Pony, and they clearly both hate it. And he at one point he makes the comment, "Yeah, but I can't deny it's an objectively well-made map." See, that's what
Wow.
fucking objective means. It's not. He's not saying it's fucking good beyond argumentation. He's saying, regardless of my personal feelings on the subject or all of this, it's good. It's well made. And I was like,
the thing is,
if only people
there's
could see
plenty-
this.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought it was that. You know, I remember I saw a tweet. I think it was from a game journo who was saying something like, "When somebody says a game isn't for me, what they actually mean is it's bad, but I'm afraid to say it because I'll get criticized." And my
What?
immediate thought was, "What are you talking about? Like, surely you can recognize that not all games are going to appeal to you, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's indicative of its quality."
Yeah.
You know, like how I don't care for flight simulators, but if I saw one that I could tell was well made, it's not like, well, I didn't like it, so it's bad. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
That's not. It's really easy to divide your opinion on something from an accurate assessment of it.
Just like, I don't know, that confuses me. That's my entire comment on it. It's just a sigh of like, why?
The size says it all, doesn't it? It's just like, what can you say to that?
I don't know. Yeah, that's the sigh. I didn't even mean to do that. That's just, I was trying to think of what I could say to that, and that came out. People in chat or person in chat asking me to upload this after. I'm going to upload this to my second channel, just called JXE, which is I'm going to turn into my stream archive channel eventually, or I guess as soon as I upload this. Currently, there's a load of vlogs on it that I made before I knew how to edit and not be cringy. But that channel's going to be my stream archive channel now. So
Can I just say,
if
Jay,
you want to
very
find that,
proud
that's
of
where
you.
it's going.
1 hour and 8 minutes, and you're only 1 minute and 24 into the video.
Oh, I learnt from the best.
Very proud.
Should we carry on with
Very
the video?
strong ratio. Yes, go for it.
Clearly no radio in his ear, but he pretends to have one.
I guess.
Continuity error, camera.
Oh my god, he has bird box eyes.
Wait, yeah, I guess, is that a... let me just see that shot. I was
Hit
just...
by one freaking arrow. Clearly no radio.
Hang on, is that?
I'm just trying to make...
Pretends to have.
It is the same ear, right?
No, it is, yeah.
It's the same ear, but I mean,
Just kind of hard to definitively tell.
Because it kind of looks like he might have something in his ear. It kind of looks like it.
But
And even if not, it's like, yeah, continuity error, sure.
Yeah, that's fine. He can point those out.
But that is a nitpick
That's-
most of the time.
it might be
it's
the best
nitpick
point was
channel.
made in the video, though.
It's the fact that it's a nitpick doesn't mean anything really. Like, he's self-declared as a
Sure.
nitpick channel, and I'm perfectly happy for that to be what he does.
I am okay with nitpicks.
That's fine, but I mean, if he's gonna be nitpicky like that, then there are way more things like
Yeah,
he
that's.
would.
Someone said
what I mean,
it's in
like-
his finger.
I like that idea actually.
But yeah, I believe they actually do, like, in Infinity War, you can actually see the little black things in their ear, so...
You can see it in Civil War too.
They fixed
They
it.
have things in their ears. Maybe they
Yeah,
watched this
alright.
video.
High five, CinemaSins, you did it.
Computer virus delivered by...
We're halfway through now. That was the first one, I believe.
We get 50% of the and one
So
Sinistrike. That's
the
pretty good.
conclusion is when people say CinemaSins, I miss when CinemaSins used to be good. They are.
Also, dude, 1/32 of his, like, 1 out of 32,
Oh yeah.
or 1 out of 31, I guess. We haven't
So-
judged this one
It's
yet.
delivered by Arrow is what we're up to now.
I don't, I believe, was it
I kind of agree with
Smudboy
this
I
one.
watched this with had a problem with it. A lot of people think this is ridiculous. I never really understand why exactly. Is it the shot that he makes? Is it the fact that this thing can detract a USB port thing? Well,
think-
it's not a USB, but you know what I mean.
It's that he came prepared with an arrow pre-designed
that's-
to do this.
But that's the plan.
Well, I would
Where-
say that we've seen so many crazy Hawkeye arrows.
If you,
that,
yeah. If you're going
I
to
just-
question a Hawkeye arrow, I'm not sure this is the one to do it, because you could make this one in real life.
I do love the idea though that you go that you have like a Q style scene for Hawkeye, and they go, "This is your USB arrow. You can use this to transmit data."
Because
I could just email it.
I would actually question a different way. So the whole goal is to blow up 2 engines to make it fall. They blow up one, and then they use this to deactivate another one. That's what this does. And so that one they leave, and then Tony Stark is trying to repair the one that exploded. So my question would be, like, why didn't you just explode 2, or have this USB deactivate 4 of them? Why don't you deactivate one of them?
I mean, the explanation could obviously be, well, we only had one of the big explosion arrows. You know.
Either way, there is something to figure out about how all that
Yes.
works,
But none of it
what
is
he's
something
doing
he
here-
says.
Yeah, computer virus delivered by Arrow. I'm like, yeah.
Well, this is what I mean. It's like he could have. There's more that you could have done here, but you didn't because you had to do this in 3 minutes.
I kind of agree that this is. I feel like this is silly as well. So I don't know.
It's kind of silly, isn't
I
it?
agree with him, subjectively speaking.
He hasn't said that though.
True.
He's
He's just said
you're doing the
it
thing. He's
happens.
like, I think
Yeah,
that's what
okay.
these videos are supposed to do. You go, I agree with the take on this statement that I think he might be making.
Right.
And as for, I actually do agree it's silly, but I don't think it doesn't work.
Well, I would say that there are ways that what happens if, like, it's kind of the arrow landed, slightly rotated a little bit. Once the things stick out, they'd miss. You know what I mean? Like, That's it.
Yeah.
That's a good point. This has got to be the most
Yeah.
accurate shot he makes because the angle it goes in at is important.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Not just like basically every angle and every dimension is important. Like the rotation,
And
the elevation, everything. It's like,
It
this
just
is
works.
the most
somebody
inhuman
just
shot
had
he's
their
ever made.
coffee, you know?
Let's-
what if somebody
let's
had their coffee
assume-
sitting in front of it?
Let's assume
That
that
would
was
be
all the
good.
things we said was his point, and we're like, okay, we'll give you. This is like he gets half points for this. I think we should say, you know.
Sure.
Yes, half points.
In my
Half points.
in my big breakdown, this would get a pass because it's not technically wrong. And it's like
Well, none of
technically
the, a
relevant.
lot of these you can't sin because
Yeah.
you said it. This you're like, yes.
we're just. This is I guess the worst comment you could throw at this is it's vacuous.
Are you talking about his channel or
The video so far,
right?
he seems to have substituted.
Captain America is a
In
terrible.
more recent videos, he seems to have substituted like vacuous for wrong. So
Also,
Yeah.
I actually agree with that next one for Super Soldier Captain
I
America.
do agree with this one. It seems odd that he's having so much trouble here.
I like his hair though.
Yeah, I like his hair too.
It looks good in that shot.
Loki tricks Thor with the old Lucy Charlie Brown football prank. So
Yeah,
Loki's
because
Again, yeah, he says it. He just
Loki's
says the
smarter
thing.
than Thor. Loki's smarter than Thor. That's the
Thor
whole
And they
like-
do have an arc for this, thanks to Ragnarok. So,
Thor is still just like a fucking baby child at this point, isn't he?
baby child.
Baby child.
Well, he's still. Loki's a trickster. That's like
Yeah.
his thing. He's
But
the god of trickery.
That's the thing. We're
And
already
I
interpreting.
think it's a. Honestly, if I was Thor, I may have just gone all out and been like, "I'm going to tackle him into it." Yep. Like, I'll hope he hasn't had enough time to trick it.
Anyway, like, we're already doing the thing where we interpret what he might mean. What he's literally said is, what happens? He just points out that it happens.
That's all we can do. Oh, he's such a great little chattel for that.
Loki tricks Thor with the old Lucy Charlie Brown football prank. So Loki's plan was to get captured on purpose and then have Hawkeye break him out, but no real objective?
His objective was to destroy the team.
I was going to say it's said explicitly by Tony and Loki in the later scene.
Yay.
He says something like,
Hey.
"You pissed us off," and he goes, "That was the plan."
This one is objectively wrong, then. Is
Yep.
this the first
Oh,
objectively wrong
he's,
one?
He's super wrong here.
Because a lot of them have just been like, why are you saying this? But this is, I think, the first inaccurate.
This reminds me of when he was talking about Zemo. You know at the end of Civil War when Bilbo when he's talking to
Oh yeah, Bilbo
Zemo,
says you have your plan
Yeah.
fail spectacularly, and then he says,
and he
"Did it?"
said, did it, and then like CinemaSins said, "What does this mean? Does this mean he has more of a plan?" And it's like,
Well, a lot of people said, and I can't wait to go back through it all, that Civil War ends with everything going back to normal, and it's like, what movie
definitely
did you watch? Like, it's not at all.
Especially if you watch Infinity War. I mean,
Yeah, Infinity War confirms it.
what we knew. Yeah. I guess people think, oh, everything's all right because it's kind of like not the most depressing ending ever.
People were
At the end,
expecting
you know,
someone to
Steve
die.
smiling.
People were expecting a death, and
I-
then no one dies, and
I
everyone was
was
like, "Oh,
expecting
that means it's."
someone to die.
Everyone was expecting like a death, and then no one dies, and everyone means that. Oh, I guess there were no stakes.
No,
Which is not the
I
take.
changed my opinion on that because when I first watched it, I was like, "Oh, that's kind of disappointing." But now I realize that just because nobody died doesn't mean that nothing happened and
Yeah.
that there were no stakes.
I stand by the fact that Captain America killing Tony at the end, if someone like advocated that should have happened and it didn't, I'd just be like, it would be against Cap's
It'd
character.
be totally out of character, wouldn't it?
Like, if you did
Even
it
at
by
his desperate.
mistake,
That's why I love Cap at the Red Bear at his most like desperate, and he still doesn't kill him.
Mhm.
It's perfect.
I like this franchise. Most of it.
I like it
Most
too.
of it.
So, people are going to interpret which movie that's about now. It's about Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah, it's the best of the franchise.
I don't even
Long
mind
fight.
Captain Marvel that much. I don't enjoy it. You know, I don't think it's.
Long, boring fight
awful.
scene between characters we are already trying not to hate.
I like both of them.
Yeah, he
I
has
really
he
like
has a
their
problem
fight
with
scene.
both of them. Every Avengers movie, he's like, "Oh, Hawkeye, oh, Black Widow." That's
I think this fight scene's good because it demonstrates both of the characters have different skills. Like Black Widow is really good at moving
Hand to
quickly
hand.
and getting up close, whereas Hawkeye's really good at a distance.
Yeah, because he even pulls the bow out at one point and actually tries to get her with it. But I love the bit where they both like tangled up, and he's got the knife to her, and then he grabs the back of her hair and nearly gets her in the throat. I was like, "Ooh, shit!" Like, that's got to be nerve-wracking for her because this is supposed to be her like closest friend who's trying to stab her in the throat actively. It's great.
I think
I mean,
the main.
the running-
Sorry,
No, go ahead.
I think the criticism that we're ignoring here is a long, boring fight scene between characters that we're already trying not to hate. I think he's saying it's bad because it's long.
I think his big criticism, and it seems to be a running theme throughout all of these movies where Black Widow is in it, where he's like, "Oh, Black
A
Widow."
lot of people don't like Black Widow.
Yeah, he
I
says the same
like
thing
it.
about
Well-
Black Widow and Hawkeye, and not even just like them being useless. He's like, he fucking just dunks on them all the time with shit that's barely accurate or
The
inaccurate.
thing is, right, with me, it's like I do like the characters. However, I think Hawkeye's a bit different because of his arrows. I think he is quite effective. but Black Widow could be like at some point the power levels become so high that you gotta wonder what she's doing.
She's made very important by the writing because she could be like, you know, like what she does in Avengers is pivotal, and yet it's like, but she's like a normal person that does normal things, and you're like,
this is gonna be what every Avenger is like once Captain Marvel joins the team and could do everything on her own.
Well, dude, the idea that they all go, let's team up to fight Thanos. She goes, you guys can stay back. You're like,
oh, imagine that happened. Imagine that happened.
People would love that so much.
Man.
It would subvert my expectations.
Yeah, because it would be so awful.
I didn't disagree with that.
And I don't think the Russo brothers are going to do it because they've
No, I don't think they will
demonstrated to
either.
me that they know what they're doing.
I mean, unless they got mad studio interference, which I don't know why they would, but
wouldn't, though.
I like to think that they have the conversations that we have.
Well, isn't Captain Marvel only in the film because of studio interference?
Well, she probably wasn't a character that they wanted to do something with, is the rumor that we're hearing.
The degree to which, you know, I doubt. We'll see. I've said this before. I hate talking about Endgame because
it's not out.
Yeah, and I know the whole point is we're talking about what it might be, but you know.
I think an important thing to note is that when it comes to Captain Marvel, it's a character that they didn't create, that they didn't do the movie for, who they now have to work with. Whereas with Civil War, they had that opportunity to kind of fix issues with Iron Man to make him into the character that they needed him to be. For
couldn't you say that though from the get-go that they have to deal with Iron Man when they want to deal with Captain America? Because arguably they could fix Captain Marvel, right?
They could. However, I think it's important to consider the bigger picture with Captain Marvel as well, which is not only the political thing, which bugs me, the fact that it's even important at all, but also that she's meant to be the setup for the next main character. Whereas with Civil War, it's like, we're setting up our ending that we're going to do. You know what I mean? It's like we're setting up something that we are going to do later on, as opposed to, here's this character you got to put in for something that's going to come after your involvement ends. I think it's a different situation.
Yeah. I just wanted to go full injustice.
Yeah.
I know we've already talked about this, but...
Man, I can... once Endgame happens, I could see a discussion about that movie lasting for like 10 years. Just be like, right, we got to lay out all the things. All the characters.
I really want
could stream that.
Injustice. I really want a big... Yeah, we need to talk about that movie once it comes out.
What, Endgame?
Yes.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of
Sonic the Hedgehog.
The film of our time. Did we say that film is indicative of us being in the darkest timeline?
Yes, I said that on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're watching a CinemaSins video, by the way.
Are you sure you don't want to just watch Sonic the Hedgehog?
Scene between characters we are already trying not to hate. Tesseract mind control powers erased with a simple blow to the head. Fury gives...
that kind of bugs me as well, I guess.
Now, he's wrong. The Tesseract was not a mind control. It was this...
True,
it wasn't the Tesseract.
It doesn't... It doesn't... Yeah, that's inconsequential, really, because if you just said Mind Stone there... Probably what he meant to say, fuck it, whatever.
It wasn't the Mind Stone.
I like that it cancels out that way. It's nice and simple mechanically.
It was the Space Stone.
No, it wasn't.
The Mind Stone is in the Scepter.
Oh, fuck, it is. I'm kidding. Yeah. Okay, never mind. Ignore me.
He said something wrong, because he said it was the Tesseract.
Yeah,
it was the Mind Stone.
Oh, yeah.
I agree, he's fucked that element up. However, how do you even judge that? You got a mystical energy thing that makes you mind control a person. Okay, it gets knocked out by you having a sharp blow to your head. I'm like,
yeah,
that makes enough sense, doesn't it? I don't know. How do you judge whether or not that makes sense?
True.
Well, if the film sets up that because remember, in Age of Ultron, established that Scarlet Witch was able to negate the effects of the Mind Stone because her powers come from Loki's scepter, so it is possible to reverse it. So we've seen that blunt force trauma can do it, and also a power from the Mind Stone. So, like, the film says that's how it works, that if you hit someone in the head, they're no longer under mind control. What's wrong with that?
So much of this video just comes back to it's bad because it is the way it is. The way they did it was bad the way they did it.
It looked like a pretty bad hit to me.
I want to highlight, Afro said, Doctor Strange is the strongest Avenger. Who can stop him? Thanos?
Yeah, but Doctor Strange probably is the strongest Avenger. It really.
Is he
It
even
depends.
an
If you're
Avenger?
talking about like counter mechanics and stuff, like you could just portal people out, or
Well, in
cut them in
theory,
half.
he doesn't though.
The thing is, right, is when we're talking about the strongest, do we mean durability or strength or the things that they can do?
So, because
well, yeah, because like a lot of people say Scarlet Witch is one of the strongest. It's like,
I didn't mean
well,
like
in a certain way.
if they were to like just have like a fight to the death tournament, who would come out on top?
Probably Doctor Strange.
The only way Doctor Strange loses is if he fucks up. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, exactly. Because he could just put you in the mirror dimension and you're stuck. It's like, see,
Is he? He's not super durable though, is he? He could just. He's like the easiest to kill if you
Oh
get
yeah,
him
you
off
could kill him
guard.
with a bullet to the head.
Well, a lot of them are easy to kill though in terms of
Well, yeah, but
their
Yeah.
durability.
That's why. What does the question mean? You know,
Right.
like Thor
Well,
is probably the strongest on that regard. Like outside of Captain Marvel. I
I'm
guess.
sorry. I'm sorry. No, person in Captain Marvel is not at least better than Black Widow.
No. I love that you said sorry, person. Yeah, sorry. Black Widow. I'm finding myself being on Team Black Widow as days go on because a lot of people criticize the crap out of her, and I'm like, you telling me like, have you not paid attention to all of the things they give us about her over the movies? Very interesting character. She's not loyal to anything but trying to keep the team together.
Oh, and fun fact, right? The solo Black Widow movie, it's Taskmaster is going to be the villain, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm on board. I hope it's good.
I hope it's good too. I mean, it's about time.
I
I'd
hope
say.
it's awful.
No. Oh, so this next one is Fury gives intimidating death stare to a computer.
I like
screen.
this one. I like this one. This is just funny.
All right.
I like it.
Fair enough.
Computer screen. Dying person can finish their last profound statement before dying.
Sure.
So okay, I
I
just
guess.
want to check. Does he finish his last statement?
He says they needed something. I think that's what he says.
Because last but one video I covered of his, he made this exact criticism, and then I went back and watched the actual clip, and no, he finished what he was saying, and then he passed out.
I will find it for you right now.
Are you putting in effort? Stop it.
Fact checking CinemaSins.
Fact checking CinemaSins is kind of like health checking I don't know, a poo.
Now, here's a question: is it bad because it's a cliche necessarily?
No.
Yeah, he says this was never going to work unless they had something to, and then he dies.
Okay, so it's true at
Yeah,
least.
but we know what he says.
Yeah,
so-
we know what he's saying.
Yeah.
His point is that we've seen that a lot, and I'd just be like, okay.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
it's like
yeah.
I mean, it's a cliche, so he gets to say it as, he gets to point out
So,
that it's there.
Yeah,
What are we
like
up to then?
So it's like just like he normally does. He gets to point out it's there, but this time he gets to say the word cliche at the end.
and some people are saying he's not dead. For
He
all
dies
intents
here.
and purposes of this film, he's definitely dead.
Also, when this video came out, he was still dead, right? I don't know how that whole thing goes.
Yeah, I'm
Aces
pretty
of
sure.
S.H.I.E.L.D. came out the year afterwards, so I'm not sure. I think this came out in 2012. This video, at least.
Is this EFAP but
So
just on
sure.
Jay's channel? No, it's really different. We've only got 3 people here, and there's no Discord at the bottom because I couldn't figure out how to get it in.
These are
OBS.
significant changes.
Yeah. It's really different to EFAP. Alright,
So anyway, bad news negates the need for medical care.
Cliche. Bad news negates the need for
oh, it
medical
might be out of sync. Should
I'll
just-
draw it back.
care. Nick Fury motivates the team by lying about the location of baseball card.
Does anyone have anything to say about that?
It's just true.
I mean,
Wait,
so
hang on.
that first one,
So-
bad news negates the need for medical care. I just, she's been hit on the head and she's bleeding, and some guy was doing a thing, and then she was like, wait, my very close friend and agent is dead. Go away a second. I think that's more than reasonable, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Like, she's not in urgent need of medical care anyway, right?
Yeah, and she's just trying to listen to the report that Coulson's dead, which is, you know.
So, it was a joke.
All right.
And
Cool.
then Nick Fury motivates the team by lying about the location of baseball cards. Yes, he does.
He does that. That's true.
That is in the film. He also wears an eye patch.
That's not a sin. It's a non-sin. What you just said.
That's nonsense.
You did it.
Cap gets AIDS from handling bloody baseball cards.
I don't think that actually happens.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. So
Inaccurate.
ding.
Ding dong. He lied. No, okay. Clearly a joke. I don't think it was very funny.
Just not. Yeah, like the most it would ever get out of me is just like a, huh?
The joke is that AIDS.
AIDS bad.
Like that. That's the joke is that he said AIDS.
Well, you could say that about Team America when they have
Sure.
the song about AIDS. So
I mean, I don't think it's the same though, because that's clearly more going on.
I didn't say
there.
they'd be right. I just said they could say it.
To be fair, there's the fucking Rick and Morty episode where Rick goes through his catchphrases, and one of them is AIDS, and the joke literally is that he just said AIDS. And I think that's
That's
really
the
funny.
thing. Oh, that's what I'm saying. It's like this kind of joke can work. It's just the way he did it there was just like, oh, all right.
But if that actually was what happened in the film, he wouldn't have said it any differently. He didn't say
No.
it like it was a joke. He just said it
exactly.
matter of fact. It'd be a very different film, though.
Yeah.
Basically, indestructible heroes still need a little league pep talk to get up for the big challenge. Yeah, they're indestructible. Doesn't mean they've got, like, indestructible brains.
Well, they're human.
Yeah, they're people.
unfortunately.
They're people. They're just strong people.
Fucking, he would just do the opposite criticism if it wasn't that. He'd be like, these characters never go through anything.
It's like, I don't.
Yeah, I know.
Basically, indestructible heroes still need Little League pep talk to get up for the big challenge. Thor has trouble picking up his hammer, but it's never.
I don't remember this part. So
I don't
good.
think does he. Oh yeah, I think he's going for the old telekinesis grab, but it doesn't quite work, and he looks at his hand like, huh?
Is that ever explained?
I need to see the scene again to really figure out what exactly is being portrayed. I'm pretty sure he's just worn out.
This is wearing me out.
Or hang on, let me look at the scene. I've got it right here. Hang on. It's not honestly. The scene doesn't necessarily portray that he can't grab it or he's having trouble grabbing it. He walks up to it and then lifts his arm up and then stops and looks at his hand. You could
So it's just
absolutely
like-
argue that he's just having some self-reflection for a moment.
Yeah, he's just having a. I think he probably is, right? He's having a moment.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of things to interpret, like what he's thinking about. Probably the fact that Asgardians have caused a shit ton of trouble for Earth right now.
This whole thing is size now, isn't it? Do we need to do the Iron Man one, or can we just like do something else instead?
Oh, well, I mean, should we just...
Talk to get up for the big challenge. Thor has
try
trouble
and-
picking up
try
his
and
hammer,
kick on.
but it's never explained.
Can do it.
Every gadget in this movie has to glow with a blue light. Loki
That is true. There is a
That-
lot of blue, except
There's
the
blue
ones that
lights
don't
on
have
stuff.
blue.
Well, yeah, there's some things that are blue lights. There's some things that don't have lights at all. But what's important is there's enough blue lights for him to have noticed the blue lights.
Look, you're standing on a balcony. Ding.
Yeah, Loki's doing his victory lap in this scene.
Loki
And he even
patiently
says
waits
you
for-
should have kept your armor on for that.
Loki patiently waits for Iron Man to remove the damaged suit, grab a drink, banter a bit, and put on a new suit instead of just killing him.
One of those things happens after trying to kill him.
Yeah, that's true.
It even shocks Loki when the thing launches. if you remember.
He patiently waits. Apparently, he patiently waits for Iron Man to put on a new suit. If we remember that scene, he's falling out of a window when he puts on that new suit after Loki has thrown him out.
Yeah,
if you
but
count that as
doesn't
patiently
count.
waiting,
Yes.
I could see that as patiently waiting. I'm just gonna chuck you out the window while I wait patiently for you to put on a suit.
patiently waits for Iron Man to remove the damaged suit, grab a drink, banter a bit, and then put on a new suit instead of just killing him.
And he shows it as well.
He shows.
Oh, man. What?
Wait. Too bad Loki's mind control powers only work if the scepter touches the exact center of
Yeah,
a
it is
person's
too
chest.
bad because that's
Yeah.
how it works.
Well, there's no. We don't know that if he didn't put it on Tony's arm, that it wouldn't have worked. Loki didn't try
To
that.
be fair, he doesn't try anything else again.
But that's because Loki's confused. He's like, why the fuck didn't this work? He has no idea what Iron Man's heart is made of fucking metal right now.
If he tapped it, he heard like the fucking noise of it touching the glass. Clearly, it touched something that wasn't Tony. Like it touched.
Well, he says, yeah, but it's enough to confuse you. Absolutely, Loki's not a supreme intelligence being. He's just like, this usually works.
I would assume that he was wearing just like fucking Kevlar or something. And apparently, Kevlar blocks the Mind Stone. I don't know.
Yeah, but then he makes a penis joke, and so Loki's like, oh fuck this, I'm gonna throw you out the window.
Sure.
Like, ultimately, I would argue that it's probably the better choice, because Tony Stark being on your team is good, but he could still be booped out if someone hits him in the head.
Just put his helmet on.
Yeah, but even you can hit someone in the head when they're wearing a helmet, and it can still, make them go, whoa.
Yes.
Like, I don't know the exact amount of force required to
I think we've
control.
seen Tony take some like pretty hefty blows in his suit.
Well, why would you assume that Tony even has another suit if you were Loki? He just took off his torn up one. Yeah, everyone's assuming everything about this. I'm fine with Loki being like, okay, I don't know what the fuck's going on there. I'm just gonna throw you out a window.
Yeah, like what's his complaint here? Like,
I think it's that
What's-
it's convenient, but he
Well,
doesn't
I
say
think-
that again.
I think he's suggesting that it's annoying Loki didn't try to get him in any other part of his chest, and thus we have to assume that Loki's mind control only works by putting it in the exact position that Iron Man happens to have his metal and glass thing. So I don't think that's the case. I think that you could probably use it on any part of their chest. However, Loki doesn't try that because Loki doesn't try that. There's no assumption that Loki should definitely have tried that.
mm-hmm.
See, I think that is the criticism, that he just doesn't try anything else here. But again, I'm guessing because he doesn't say that.
He throws him out a window.
Yeah, he just chucks him out the window.
I
Like,
think that's fine.
Loki's mind control powers only work if the scepter touches the exact center of a person's chest. Generic bad guy soldiers whose abilities and shortcomings are never explained.
Abilities and shortcomings are never explained.
I mean, we don't need to have them explain their abilities because we see what they do. They shoot.
I was gonna say, do we
they
need
shoot
them
the
explained?
pew-pews, and we see what they
They're
die
about-
to.
They're stronger than humans, probably, from what we see,
You
but
don't
they
need
can
to
still
explain
die.
this stuff. You see it. It's like they never explain what color they are either.
Yeah, that's actually a good counter. Got him.
I like how he says the shortcomings explain. I think when they get shot and die.
Yeah.
It's a shortcoming. And yeah, generic bad guys, sure.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that they're a bit generic.
Oh,
They-
that's totally
I
generic.
mean, yeah, but I mean, what?
I don't know that you're not allowed to have bad guys that are generic. I don't know that that's even a
Sure,
problem.
but I mean, I would agree that it would be better if they were more interesting. Like if they were.
If you're watching a World War movie, would you be like generic German bad guys?
Well,
I guess maybe the
And
thing here
I'd be
with
like,
it
is that a problem?
I guess maybe it's interesting to think about. In video games, you tend to have enemies that are extremely different because they offer unique gameplay opportunities.
Yeah.
But in a film, it's a little bit different because you're not really forced into a position like that. You know what I mean?
You might be. We might have to say like. Probably won't happen, but we might just happen. Why did I do that? We might just happen to say like goodbye to the stream at some point because my internet might just cut out.
Why?
Because it's doing its things.
Article.
No, it's my
That's
internet
expensive.
and my internet where I live is incredibly patchy, and it's giving warning signs. Doesn't mean it's going to cut out, but it might just fucking cut out. So
Well, it is still playing right now on my screen.
Yeah, I
is
can
what
still
I'll
see it,
say.
but yeah.
But yes, thanks for the heads up.
Mauler just showed the entire stream, just your avatar, because I still had the Google open when I was putting it in the thumbnail, so everyone just got to see that for a moment. I hope you enjoyed it.
I
guys.
am the stream.
You can become the stream now. Here you are. You've become the stream. There you go.
Beautiful. Well, may as well try and get this finished, right? Before it
Yeah,
cuts out.
sure.
Why are they even trying to stop an army that we never once see kill or injure a human being? Captain
What?
America's
Why are they trying to stop them? What? They're blowing up the fucking city. Look at the there's an explosion on screen.
What? I am blown away.
Like- You see the fucking city getting devastated.
I like how
What?
in his next shot, you see fire and explosions.
Yeah.
And burns out cars.
Is he suggesting that Tony shouldn't have attacked them?
Oh,
did
what
We
the
knew this whole
fuck?
time that Loki's plan was to. Remember, he goes, right, army.
What the fuck? The weirdest part is I know that, like, in the early days of my channel, I responded to this video, and I know I didn't reply to that, and I'm trying to figure out why the fuck I didn't.
This video is easy to rip into. That's like my favorite point I've ever heard from CinemaSins. Why are you attacking the alien army?
Why? Yeah.
I don't know, man.
People have always...
Wait,
people often say to me, like...
Nudu said, to be fair, I guess this sin is definitely a joke. The fact you said, I guess, like, it means it's not definitely a joke.
By the way, my laptop has completely died on the internet, so if I can't see the chat anymore, so be aware of that, chat. I
But
can't
you're
I
still
can't see what
talking
you're
to
saying.
us, so that means you're still around.
Well, my
I
desktop
guess.
is plugged into the wall internet.
Yeah,
My
that-
laptop is on the Wi-Fi.
If that was a joke, Sin, was the point of it to make us go, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's a joke. It's
think-
bad on purpose. I don't
Now-
know.
I'm gonna try and figure out what is. I think the joke that he's trying to make in the movie, you don't actually see the alien.
Yeah,
It's
but
only
you
a
don't
button
have to.
screen
You
or
don't fucking
like-
have to.
No, I know you don't have to.
You
I
see
mean,
them blow up the city.
I agree. Just trying to.
You're cutting out a lot, by the way. I don't know if there's a. Just cutting out a lot. I can understand you, but there's
Uh-oh.
gaps every couple of seconds. No, I think I don't
This
know.
is scary.
Oh, great. Now the Australian internet's going down.
It's Article 13. It's destroying the world.
Oh, God.
Next thing you'd open the window and see a mushroom cloud.
The giant Article 13 robot zapping houses.
Ugh.
Like, no.
is really more of a super gymnast than a superhero. Black Widow knows
What the fuck?
That's my catchphrase.
Oh, should just like let this play and keep saying what the fuck. I feel like that's good enough, right?
Black Widow knows exactly how to handle and fire an alien weapon seconds after picking it up. Okay, she uses it to, like, hit people like a
No,
club.
she does fire it.
No, I was
As
going to
far
say,
as
but then if there's a
No.
trigger to pull,
That's true, actually.
that doesn't seem too complicated to me. I could probably figure that out.
Plus, you know, they've got hands. Like, they probably designed a weapon in a way that's ergonomic for them to use. You know, it's probably going to be pretty similar
I just-
to an earth gun.
Because note that he says handle and fire. It's like, it's a stick. So I think handling it is not going to be too complicated. Oh, he's so great.
Whenever Black Widow manages to do something, he's like, Black Widow managed to do something.
why are they even trying to stop an army that we never once see kill or injure a human being?
I can't believe he said
Captain
that.
America is really more of a super gymnast than a superhero. Black Widow knows exactly how to handle and fire an alien weapon seconds after picking it up. And suddenly, there was Bruce Banner on a motorcycle. Production
I do think that's like, yeah, okay, he's right. That does happen.
You know what? Fine. He is right. Bruce Banner does show up on a motorcycle. I don't know why I even thought to question that. Of course that happened. He's right.
Production Design 101, don't imitate anything from Transformers. It does look a bit like the Transformers stuff.
Even though a lot of people celebrated the production design of Transformers when the first movie came out, for the, if you remember when Blackout transformed from the helicopter, people were like, holy shit, that's awesome.
There are a few decent, like Transformers 1, Mary. You know what I mean? Like it's not great, but like it's alright.
Alright. Muller, I hate to pull this card, but I think I was too young to remember the discussion surrounding that film.
It's okay, Jay. It is
Ah.
okay.
I mean, I probably wasn't aware of the discussion either.
I have the youngs.
It was about
I would think
You
I
guys
must
just
have
making
been
me feel like an old man.
Wait,
You're only
when did
a
it come
couple
out?
years
When did it
older.
come out?
2007.
Oh, fuck, I was 7. Or 8.
Oh.
Oh, 7 or 8.
And now I feel really old.
But no, I remember when I was a kid, I was like, "Oh, this is great! I love this."
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
good.
I think it was. I think the first one isn't a bad film. From what I remember, it's not a bad film.
It's all right. Like it's.
I don't think it's good as a Transformers movie, from what I remember. Like from what people reacted as,
no.
they were like, "This is fucking shit for Transformers." But as a movie, it was fine.
Yeah, it was okay.
So based on the fact that nothing bad has happened to my internet yet, I think we're safe. Although my laptop internet is still down, so.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems to have stabilized with just the Wi-Fi being out.
Alright then.
Action Design 101. Don't imitate anything from Transformers. Hulk can suddenly control his powers because the story demands it.
No,
Thor's lightning
no,
turns out
stop,
to be really, really
stop,
No!
stop, stop, stop.
but he only
Right.
I know he wants to forget about the Incredible Hulk, but in that movie, at the end, it's established that he has learned how to control when he can go.
It's an
Hulk.
Avengers. He's always under control outside of when the Mind Stone gets into his head.
The thing that bugs me is like there was a movie that expressly addressed. I know he, but it does exist.
Maybe he's trying to argue that that's something they've fucked up. I don't know.
How? And
Like
plus,
he's saying that. I don't know, dude.
If you
we've-
interpret what he's saying in this way that's right, he's right.
Bruce Banner says, "Yeah, I can." What's wrong with that?
he's the wrong man bad. I agree.
Oh, you guys are going to have to tell me what's in the chat because I still can't see it.
Uh,
Read every chat message to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say. We'll just. We're near the end of this video. I swear.
Yeah,
lightning turns out to be really, really effective against the aliens,
that's
but
kind
he
of.
only
About,
uses it once.
What do you reckon about
That's
that
not
one?
true either. He uses it multiple times as far
I
as
think-
I remember.
And besides,
wrong, though.
he does bottleneck them for a bit, but then he starts like hunting down different ones in the city.
Plus,
from
it's
what I
not like it's
remember.
not effective when he kills them with his hammer.
Yeah, and plus, for all we know, like that was
Um,
really difficult to do.
Yeah, because he does go "Brah!" when he's doing it, so maybe it's not easy. I don't know.
He just says things.
He did say a thing.
The council would rather... Oh, I remember this one. The council would rather definitely kill everyone in New York with a nuke rather than have some maybe die in an alien invasion.
What the fuck? No.
Yeah, they want to stop the alien
The
invasion.
longer they take, the more the aliens spread. This is not. I actually agree with the council's decision. I understand why they did what they did.
For
It makes
this
sense.
to be right, for this sin to be right, what would the aliens would have to do is invade New York and then stop. Like,
yeah,
we're done.
go
We're
once
done.
It's over.
We're done.
I don't think it works that way. You might want to ask.
And
him.
like, not even that. Even if the aliens did that, there still wouldn't be a reasonable assumption to make. It would have to be a reasonable assumption that that's what they were trying to do.
And the thing is, right, if this wasn't in the movie, he'd say, "Why not just launch a nuke at them?"
That's so true as well.
That would be his complaint.
I'm starting to think CinemaSins might not be very good.
That. No, you have to check out his latest stuff. You haven't responded to any of his latest stuff, have you?
No. No, I've only done the earlier stuff. I heard he's got longer, which means better.
Long better man is.
Yes. I believe
maybe
Gandhi
he'll
says
Some
that.
die in an alien invasion. Loki gets caught monologuing.
He does.
Loki gets caught monologuing. Is that would count as a joke, right?
I guess.
All right.
I like this line. I think this line is funny. It makes about as much sense as the rest of it, but I think this is funny.
Fury fires a missile at an American to stop him from firing a missile at Americans.
It's
All
true.
the enemy soldiers
It is true. Well, it's not technically, it's a rocket, isn't it? But still,
Yeah.
is a rocket a missile? How is missile defined?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I agree with him here. It annoys me that the enemy soldiers all die once the mothership explodes, even though they're like clearly creatures. Why would they
Apparently,
be?
it's a guided self-propelled system as opposed to an unguided self-propelled munition. So yeah,
So,
technically speaking,
yeah.
Fury fired an unguided self-propelled munition at a thing that was going to fire a guided self-propelled system.
Haha. So this one I agree kind of with. I don't know if you could say it's like
Oh well, you could
Criticism
argue. I
that-
guess it's convenient that they're not all
like
self-sentient. I guess.
they're shown to be like creatures. Like you see them, they're like the things.
Yeah, you
that-
don't expect them to be controlled almost mechanically.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's really convenient, and it's not established beforehand that would happen. So, I agree. Although he
Yeah,
doesn't
it's a
actually make a
convenience,
criticism, he
so-
just says that it happens.
I think this is one time where we're supposed to interpret that's what
Sure,
he's
yeah.
saying, and that is
For the
what
rest,
he's saying.
if he hadn't done it for the rest of the video, I'd be like, yeah, this is reasonable. But like the fact is, he's pointed out literally the entire video is just him saying thing happens. Like, yeah, this one I think it's reasonable for him to just say that the thing happens because, yeah. But still.
Soldiers die like once the mothership is exploded. There is no gravity in space, but Iron Man falls back to
Ha ha ha! Yes, there is. The Earth is in space.
First of all, the gravity from Earth would actually pull him back because there is a big hole there.
Yeah.
And
Secondly-
there is gravity in space. Like,
Yeah. I mean, okay, the Earth is like situated in space, right? And it's being in the orbit of the sun's gravity. It has its own gravity. There's gravity in space. That's where most of it is.
Like the Earth's orbit around the sun is based on its
Plus,
draw, right?
You know, isn't everything in the Milky Way orbiting the center of the Milky Way? I'm pretty sure you would argue that
No.
most of the things in the Milky Way are in space.
What I wanted was a bit more reason for why he falls so quickly in the opposite direction when his suit was going like all the way up until he enters the fucking thing. So you'd think the momentum from that would push him pretty far into space.
Especially considering it pushes the missile into space.
I think the missile continues to have thrusters, I'm not sure.
Oh.
But he does have a line saying save some for the way back. He says something like that to Jarvis. I don't know. And you see like things break off from Iron Man, like two like back parts as if it's doing something and it like knocks him down. There's a couple of things that make you wonder like, I
Sure.
think it's enough for him to go back down. Like I said, and the gravity of Earth should pull him back a bit.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like,
it's enough.
surely it'd just pull him the normal amount because there's a hole there.
Banner and Stark dating now? Credit
Yes.
scene to tease the next.
Yeah, they get along really well, Banner and Stark.
Oh, the
which
Thanos
was shown
scene.
in the film.
Credits to scene to tease next movie turns out to be a homework assignment.
I don't
I'm confused.
disagree
What do you mean by that?
because like no one knows who Thanos is. Knew when this came out.
Is he
It was like,
referring? Oh, does he mean you have to go to the comics to find out what this is?
yeah,
Well,
It's like-
no, you don't. You can just wait for the MCU to
That's
explain
true.
it.
I guess he's. Yeah, actually, that's true.
Next movie turns out to be a homework assignment. Shawarma scene missed by any moviegoer who didn't realize there would be 2 end credit scenes. So basically, everyone.
That's true. I didn't see this scene until last year.
Neither did I.
Well, they set the precedent, and now everyone waits for the entire credits because, like, we have to see everything. We did it.
64 of them. How many were good? 1, I think.
I'd argue. I
I
think there was
think-
about
I think
6 that were
three.
okay.
Okay,
I
sure.
think there were 3 or 4 actually.
I want to go with 1 though because it sounds better. It doesn't matter
Well, there
if
you
we're
go. You'll
inaccurate,
always
right?
know now that you can reply to this video one day if you're bored.
I have done, and in my reply, I don't think it's very good because it was one of my earlier ones. My earlier ones
Oh.
aren't great. So actually, I did a thing that one where I released 4 videos in one day. Yeah, you could imagine it's not great. My earlier work wasn't
How dare you.
amazing.
Jeez.
So yeah, what's the plan? Considering how long it took us to do one, I'm assuming you might want to stop there.
I'm happy to go on, but I'm kind of feeling fatigued after that one.
I'm not against that. I need to go to the toilet as well. So are we stopping or?
I guess sure. We'll stop here.
All right.
Right then.
This has been really
It
fun.
was excellent doing this, and I'm glad that CinemaSins has been probably the most unchanged YouTube channel over that significant amount of a time.
Before we go, do you guys want to plug your channels or anything? Frankie, do you have anything you want to plug?
Oh. Not really.
Sure. Mola, do you want to?
Go check out Jay's guestings on EFAP. That should be some fun for you if you haven't already. But yeah, no, it's all good.
So this has been my first real stream.
Yay!
How did it go? Can I have feedback?
Well,
It was terrible.
I agree. I'm
But
never
in
going to
a
do this again.
subjectively terrible way, so it's fine.
Oh, that's just your opinion, though.
Ah, racist.
All right, so goodbye.
Goodbye.
alright, catch you later, everyone.